Zach,
Yo.
today I sat down and watched our movie of the week.
Okay.
And it just made me really want to buy Deckard's Blaster.
All of theirs. I mean, you could really spend a lot of money
Oh,
on like I'm talking like a lot of money.
yeah, because I don't want a 3D printed one. I want like the legit metal and resin casts. So they're like minimum like $1,300.
Oof.
And
Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
real pricey. But I don't think I have the stomach for it. But I still really want one.
Now, are we talking like pre-made or like kit at 1,300?
I believe they're pre-made at 1,300, but even kits are like 800.
Which kit? The Tomenosuke one?
Yeah,
Oh, it's beautiful, bro.
I know.
The
dude.
It's
tomato
like-
soup?
Tomato
What
soup.
was
like
the word you said?
How dare
That
you?
seems
Oh, you,
weird.
who needs Deckard's gun when you got a gun on your desk?
That's true.
Christ.
I have it
Teens
right
about to spend
Real
$1,300
gun.
on a gun that doesn't work.
here. Yeah, my gun was right here on top of my comics when we started. I was like, oh shit, I need to move that.
Jeez, we're gonna get some accidental discharge. My goodness.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm John.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our friends over at 1/6 Corner for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. Don't forget to head over to 16corner.com and use code CW10. That's capital C, capital W, 10 during our live recording for 10% off all in-stock items.
We have a great show planned for you guys tonight. We got 5 new Hot Toys to talk about. We got more typical Toys Wonderland bullshit that we have to talk about. And we're also reviewing one of my favorite movies of all time. Dean, before we get into it, we have a very special show. Wow, a very special segment that all the best shows start with. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? So I got in the mail. I got it on Mercari, like sick deal. You have a slide, but I'll go ahead and pull it up. It's the Do You Remember Love VF1S with the little Roy Fokker figure. Super Valkyrie.
Excuse me?
What?
Fokker, I hardly knew her.
Yeah.
I got nipples too.
You've been Fokkerized.
Oh my god.
I got nipples of Fokker. Can you milk me? Yeah, I just wanted it for the collection. I just have it in the box still. Just a cool Macross figure. Super 80s, 5 POA. Really not much going on, but it's a cool display piece. And it was only $20. Okay, so I bought this, right? $20. I think it was like free shipping. And the guy was like, yo, I have some other ones like that I have, I could put up for sale. And I was like, cool, let me see what you got. So he posted like 3 other ones, $70. I was like, okay, no, I'm good. That's ridiculous. It's like he got one sale and got excited, but yeah, I was like, This
Yeah,
is
hate to
good
see
enough
it,
for me.
savage.
So that's.
Is it something you're gonna think about though, and like feel like maybe you missed out on, and then contact him later, see if he'll
There
do a
was
better
one
price?
that I really, really did want, but I was like, it's not worth $70. Like these, in terms of like Macross toys, they're super old, like very outdated. Like,
Just message him in 2 weeks and say you'll give him 150 for the lot or something like that, right?
well, we'll see. I got other stuff I gotta pay for, but yeah, that's what I got. So, what about you guys?
Hey, I'm next. Yeah, that damn rabbit hole. Got the Batman. I found a local seller here. The Batman third scale, the Hush Batcave.
Oof,
I am fucking
that
so
is
jealous, bro.
sweet, bro.
It's still sitting in the kitchen, exactly like this.
Jesus Christ, you get eat on if I eat a
I'm
plate
telling
on
you,
it.
I don't know how I'm going to unbox it. After Thor, I've been traumatized, so I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure out a way and try to get it unboxed live. But yeah, that was this week.
Is this the blue
so cool.
version?
Blue,
Or the
yeah.
black version?
This one's
Okay,
blue.
perfect, bro. You're
Bro,
gonna get that classic
honestly-
Hush blue.
Yeah.
Honestly, John like rarely ever has a new this week, but when he does,
He goes
he
fucking
fucking
big.
shows up, bro. You fucking love to see it.
It's been it's dangerous, man. It's been dangerous. I've been letting the hot toys go slowly. Some of the ones I don't need in the collection, so
This is exciting.
trying to find like a. You wait for a deal. The reason I jumped on this because it was a good deal below retail over here. So
Yeah, without shipping and tax.
exactly,
Right?
I just had to go pick it up, and it was that's why I went for it. Nice guy, Landon's his name. Really nice guy. Hooked it up, so we'll
What's
see.
his name?
Landon.
Oh, they said Aladdin. I was like,
No,
Jesus.
not a lot.
And John, this is obviously a question for the Friday show, but are statues kind of seeing a dip in the market, much like Hot Toys, like life going back to normal and some prices dropping on statues?
Not necessarily. Things aren't going for as much as they usually go for, but I just think it's people are looking for local deals because the shipping's absolutely
Oh
astronomical right
gosh,
now.
I couldn't even imagine.
But you know what it is? It's if you wait, I don't think the prices have gone down. It's just some people get desperate and they need the funds. So I think that's where you're gonna get a quicker sale at a lower price. So just be patient.
Oh, there you go.
Definitely.
Thank you.
We got Toy Mafia, Ninja Squirrel, Tukatri, Carlito, Baby Boy. You know why I'm here. Hashtag BT Squad. We got Nicolio the Great. Hello there. It's got the alien there. You'll love to see it. Ninja Squirrel. Spicy takes today. Hopefully. We'll see. Danny Lee, Jacob, Equan, Irwin, Draw the Line 35. Really hyped about most of these releases. Yeah, they got some good stuff today. King Ding, Danny Lee. Sweet Danny Lee. Equan. David Jones, 123, Thor Gaming, 123. We also have Tina in the chat. What's up, Tina? And Nicholas. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. What'd you get, Marco?
Yeah, so it's been a pretty good last few weeks. So pick this one up from, shout out to Eddie Money Mendez. He was selling this bad boy. I think it was his brother's, but this Daredevil was one that I wanted to add for a long time. This and the Punisher, but really couldn't justify the prices. So he made me a nice little deal, was able to add it, and it is a beautiful figure. I know we're going to see this guy soon in She-Hulk and in his own show. So, this is definitely a reissue candidate, but I know the next iteration of the suit, at least the next follow-up in She-Hulk, will have yellow, which I'm less a fan of than this look. So, yeah, really happy to add this one.
Amazing.
I will also... Oh, thank you, brother.
Amazing.
Yeah. Have you had this one before?
I haven't. It's one I missed out on because I never watched the show. I only watched the show recently, right?
That's right, dude.
But this is an awesome pickup, and I don't think they'll touch this suit again.
I hope not. Yeah, I hope not.
think so.
I think this one will hopefully just stay for that iteration of the Netflix show. But yeah, I will also note I picked up some things from Danny Lee. Shout out to him. But I'm going to save that for next new this week since I haven't unboxed everything just yet.
Wow. Meeting Danny and getting some Hot Toys.
I know. It was a great day,
Sorry,
man. Danny's
No
a
worries.
boss.
I was gonna say, now that you've got this one, are you gonna look for the one? I think it's So Toys that made it, like the black sweater version of him, like from the first 2 or 3 episodes.
So he was actually selling that one as well, and so I kind of had to choose: do I want that one? Do I want this one? Do I want them both? I couldn't justify adding both, so I kind of went with this one. But that's a beautiful figure too, man.
The fight scene in, I think it was episode 2 in the hallway
The
in that
hallway
outfit,
scene?
one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen, man. It was crazy. So yeah, I've been looking for that guy too. So
Well,
You
reach
said
out
it
to
was
Eddie,
Eddie?
man.
Maybe I'll have to.
You might-
Maybe I'll have to poke him. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Poke him in a friendly way, of course.
Wow, Tina says, Jesus, I had a Punisher and a Shuri that I traded in from Mark 7 at a local comic shop, and I had to add $150 for it. Yeah, be careful trading in Hot Toys to those local comic stores. You'll be paying almost, for a whole new figure at that rate. She says, whenever I see a Daredevil, it reminds me of Punisher. Great figure.
That's a
I missed
fact.
out on one of these. I've never seen the show. I want this figure, though. Fern was selling one a while back, and it was loose, and he gave me a heads up, and I was like, bro, I need this. Terrible timing.
I keep my Mark 7 on my desk, so that's a great figure. Don't feel bad.
Yeah,
That's a
terrible.
hefty figure to have right in the desk too.
Oh, it's
Like I've got mine, but it's a beast. I love that
Bro,
figure.
mine fell the other day. I was like, it's done. I've ruined it, but it only got one tiny scuff on the shoulder pad. But
A little
I was
extra
so
BD,
scared,
never hurt
bro.
anybody.
I think I told you this, but when
It's just more battle damage.
When I first pulled out my Mark 7 to show Shauna and I let her hold it for the very first time, she had to try to turn the lights on by pressing the arc reactor chest and pop the plastic right out of it. I was like, that's
She's
not
not
a
allowed.
button.
She's not allowed around any of the hot toys now.
Wow, that's I thought that was going somewhere else. I had 2 pickups this week. Honestly, I feel like McFarlane Toys is the savior of the low end toy market. To be honest, like honestly, getting probably my nomination for Company of the Year, just fucking putting out he's getting the Avatar license. He's got actually the blue Avatar, and he's got Avatar Last Airbender license. And I picked up the Appa from his toy line. It's $20. It's fucking huge, really well painted, really well sculpted. Nice little bit of minimal articulation, but it's very, you get some real iconic looks with him. Really thankful about that. And then from one of our Patreonies, Stephen Percha, I got the Dark Toys Rick, which is a stunning figure, to be honest, for kind of what you can get in terms of Blade Runner for the price. Like Dean said, $1,300 for a blaster. I think there was one company a long time ago that made a figure. It was the Brother figure. Sideshow teased one like 2018, never made it. Custom outfits go like $600, $700, $800. And Stephen Percha, Patreon, nice enough to hold it for me. Had a little bit of drama with the shipping. First, they said the address was incorrect on the package. Then they said it was going back to Nebraska. And I went to the post office to try to intercept it there. They're like, nope, it already got sent back. Sorry, they're going to have to reship it to you. I come back and it's sitting on my doorstep. So it's the whole USPS situation.
What
I
a
don't
shit
understand
show.
that.
Trump is right.
It's clearly printed on the, it's not like, he scribbled it on there and yeah, maybe I could see that. No, it's like, pretty obviously their mistake. And so it is what it is. But in addition, John, can you big cam me for a second? I got this wonderful Collecting Weekly live unboxing towel. So when you're unboxing and you're getting a little hot, you could, dab yourself. Might have to send one to Lane. Sweet guy. He's been doing so many unboxings with us. But yeah, we're trying to test out some different merch. And this was one that we ordered. And I think it came out great. And, for the price, it was not too bad. But enough about that. Let's get into the news now. None of the Hot Toys that we're going to talk about today have prices, which is interesting. I know some of them are, at the moment, listed as Shanghai exclusives. These ones I don't believe they are, but like I said, none of them have gone up for Sideshow yet. So these are Hot Toys Johnson and Tyler. I'm going to show them both together, and then you guys can take your takes on them. But what do you think, John? What do you think about these guys?
I think these are. Look, I know nothing about them. Apparently, it's from some sort of film overseas. I think that's where it's coming from.
Correct. The film is called Warriors of Future. Probably Future Warriors over there.
Regardless, the figures look really cool. Great suits. Great. I think some of the actors as well posed with them afterwards on Instagram, and they look pretty accurate. But we don't really know. I personally don't know the movie. I still appreciate Hot Toys kind of doing something different, right? I could still appreciate these. I get vibes from that movie we watched with Tom Cruise. What was that called again?
Edge of
Edge of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I get the Edge of Tomorrow vibes from this.
Absolutely.
But a really cool mech suit. All the parts, the fact that you get the base is it's a rock base, but you get some accessories and the helmet. The helmet closes, I think, which is really cool. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. We got to see the price, of course, but so far I like that at least Hot Toys with these kind of diving into something different.
And John, when you said Edge of Tomorrow, that's totally the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Also kind of reminds me of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Like they've had some, or I think Advanced Warfare, they've kind of had these mech suits. So without knowing anything about this property, I do want to see the movie now, kind of after seeing these designs, but I want to add one of these. And I don't know if they'll be available here in like small quantities or what the situation will be, but this is something that's on my radar because it just looks so damn cool and unique. And I think it could just be a generic representation of just a dope mech suit or exosuit, I guess is what it would be more appropriately called. So yeah, I really like these releases, shockingly.
Marco, you motherfucker. Carlito says Tyler and Johnson are on Sideshow for $320 apiece. Let's double check that. $320 releasing July to December 2023. That is our bad. I think they look fucking awesome. I don't really care about the movie. Never seen it. Probably never will. But I could get down with some future mechs, to be honest. Like exosuit, like Marco said, Advanced Warfare, one of my favorite Xbox games, one of my favorite Modern Warfares. I worry about the durability. I mean, some of these pieces in the real exosuit, I mean, they're made of like titanium, but they're very, very, very thin. And so I hope in some way there would be a touch of diecast there. I don't see the diecast banner, so maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But the paintwork looks great. The posability you can get these guys in, I mean, they look, all things considered, fairly posable. And again, I think not every figure has to be like a Western property, right? I think this is great that the local market's going to have this figure. I would say though, at $320, maybe a little less exciting for me. If it was $285, I think this would be, something to consider. But $320, tax shipping, you're looking at probably $360.
And if it's truly available on Sideshow already, and they're going to have some potential dead stock, then this is definitely a discount potential right here, because it couldn't be that popular here, even with how cool they look for that price.
Yeah, definitely.
320 is steep. I think it would be cool if you paired them with in my mind's eye, I feel like I could put them with even like Terminator figures or like some exoskeletons or endoskeletons, I should say, in like a future war type setting. Picture this as like the human race, trying to use some machine armor and stuff. I haven't seen the film, obviously, but when I did take a look at the character likeness, though, they were pretty sweet. Like John said, they look really good. So for that, I think excellent. I think for the folks that are looking for these and we're excited about the film, it makes me want to watch the movie just because clearly it's had a following. So at some point I don't love watching films with subtitles because like I have a hard time reading and also like paying attention. So, but this one might be one that I check out for sure. Cool looking figure.
Yeah. When I first saw these, I thought they were from Wandering Earth, which was another Chinese film that's on Netflix, and it's dubbed. You don't have to watch it with subtitles.
Nice.
And that movie I thought was phenomenal. So this one is apparently kind of like the next big movie from China. The trailer came out in 2019 and it's been like delayed into oblivion. So the movie, I believe, finally came out this week, and that's why these figures got announced. I believe Joao, Big Bretta, said he was going to go see it. And yeah, they're freaking sweet. And I'm definitely tempted to watch the movie. But if I don't, then I'm not going to be tempted to buy these. So maybe I won't watch the movie because that's expensive, bro.
Save you some money.
Yeah.
So you're paying $15 for the movie, $600 for the figure.
Yeah, because on BBTS they have the exosuit guys from the movie The Wandering Earth, and those are by Damn Toys, which makes really great products. And those are like creeping up to 400. So, yeah, it's I want those, but again, that's just too much. So, but yeah, these look really fucking cool. I like them a lot.
All right, let's move on. Gigi says, thought this was a militarized Iron Man. I'm done. You'll love to see it. Now, continuing the Chrome line.
You mean War Machine?
We have the yellow gold Stormtrooper. We have the copper gold Stormtrooper. I think there's even a chocolate gold in there somewhere. We have the clone Stormtrooper and the black Chrome Death Trooper. Jesus, it's a mouthful. We now have the Stormtrooper Chrome version. Dean, this is a pickup for you.
Maybe just the helmet if I can find someone piecing it out. I really wanted to do a Daft Punk version, so put him in like a suit and just have the helmet on there. So
I like that idea.
Yeah, but finding the gold helmet is like really hard. They're out there. It's just very hard to track one down. But yeah, this is cool. People seem to really like those colorations, so it's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, honestly, I'm surprised it took this long just to get Chrome, you know? But yeah, it's cool, kind of inoffensive, and, you know, just, like, to me, it's meh, but I could see why people like it.
You're probably better off, Dean, getting a regular Stormtrooper helmet and spray painting it.
Oh, that's not bad.
It'd probably be cheaper. But in regards to this, it's a Stormtrooper chromed out, right? It's just another, what are we going to call it? Cash cow? It's not, like, it goes well with, I guess, the other two they just showed at the con. The chromed out, what was it? Remind me.
Clone Trooper and then the Death Trooper.
The Death Trooper. Goes well with them, but God, another metallic Stormtrooper. I can understand if you're all your P's and Q's are up to date and everything's going well and you got some spare time, but when we're waiting for releases and we're waiting for some figures that have been announced and haven't been up for pre-order yet and just teased, I wouldn't be putting this kind of stuff up. I'd be focusing on that. This is just like their pockets must be empty and they need a quick little refuel.
They do that, right? Yeah. And you're completely right. This is such a cash grab and just an easy repaint for them. That being said, I think this looks sick as hell. Like, I think this guy next to Darth Vader would just look beautiful. So I'm definitely intrigued. If it's anywhere near the price of the Chrome Clone Trooper, which was, by the time you add on the taxes and fees, even with free shipping, was around $300, it will definitely be extremely overpriced. And so for that reason alone, I might not pick it up. But you know, if it dropped a bit or if it, you know, fell around the 250 range, I definitely would want to add one of these because I think it is unique looking. I mean, unique for a Stormtrooper. Obviously, we've had other iterations of the troopers, but yeah, I think it's a beautiful looking figure, regardless of all the other things that we just talked about.
I think collectors, like, I feel like we're sometimes a bit of a hard group to please, because I feel like if Hot Toys didn't release pipeline fillers like these, or announce them, then we would feel like we're still waiting kind of forever between some of these releases, some of these ones that they've promised that we're still not getting, and we're kind of like, hey, like, what the heck's going on, and why are we getting the Chrome Stormtrooper if we're still waiting on kind of X, Y, and Z? But at the same time, if they weren't giving us some of these pipeline fillers that are clearly easy to make for them, they've got the molds, they just have to give it a different paint job. And for a lot of collectors, even me, like, it's still an attractive enough figure. I've got the black Shadow Trooper, I've got the white Stormtrooper. This might look cool with the white, black, and chrome, just to kind of have like a little trifecta group in the collection. I think people would be like, hey, you know, Hot Toys is asleep. They're not doing anything. Like, we're not seeing the figures they've promised, and they're not giving us any new announcements. Like, what is happening? Why haven't we heard from them in months? At least this does give us something to talk about, something to kind of be a little bit excited about. And for the right price, I think that this can be an easy shoe into somebody's collection, as I said, like mine, where I don't necessarily have an envisioned Star Wars setup, but the handful of Star Wars Hot Toys that I have I think this one, the color palette would complement it. It would fit in my household with my fiance who likes pastel colors and all this stuff. I'd be able to squeeze it in and not have to apologize too much. And I think it would be cool. So for me, if this is the right price, it would be something that I would consider. But I'm not sure where it's going to end up.
And these are all to commemorate a new store opening in Shanghai, right? So I think that the next two releases we'll talk about, these are all either like a reissue or reuse parts in
limited.
some way, right? So they can kind of turn around these releases very quickly, which feels like the reason they've done this and the other figures.
Well,
yeah,
and it's an exclusive, right? So there's only supposed to be a certain amount of these releasing, which for a lot of collectors overseas, that still makes a lot of collectors want to necessarily buy it, right? It might take it from a figure that people wouldn't necessarily care about if it's going to be bargain bin or sitting on the shelf to a figure that might be a little bit more interesting if it could be a bit more of a limited piece in your collection.
Definitely. But we've seen limiteds before overseas and then they become readily available here, right? So it's tough because we never know the rules like we've talked about. It's like, do I jump on it now? Do I? Yeah, Hot Toys kind of wants us to 100%. Panic buy.
Yeah, these are cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think, quick release, whatever, that's fine. But it's tough for me because, the list of things that are still not out yet is getting bigger by like 2 to 5 figures every week, and we're only getting, 1, 2, like a trickle of releases and. I think John's probably right. I think it just seems like a quick cash infusion, right? Obviously, these are going for sale in this event for the store, but if they hit our market, they're obviously going to be less exclusive. Like we saw, I think Boba Fett was limited to something like 300 if I remember correctly, and we received a much higher allocation than that. I mean, these are just quick cash grabs. And, they're easy to make. And to be honest, I do like the next 2 figures we're going to talk about. But they really got to get their shit together because, boy, that list is getting big. And it's almost like it's just unsustainable, I think, right? To have that many figures. Go ahead, John.
I think they're hurting for money, to be honest. I don't think Hot Toys is in a good position right now. They're putting out releases and stuff, but I don't think they're doing very well. They can't be. There's no... And then if they are doing well, they're just not... For me, that at least, they're not reinvigorating their lineup. Right? Their price points are all over the place. They're doing reissues here and there. They're like stuff like this where it's just for a quick $1. Their figures are... You're waiting, a year and a half, 2 years if you're lucky to get a figure?
100%.
I don't know.
It just feels like they're overextended, right? Which makes sense given the amount of properties coming out, the figures that they have to produce because of licenses, or we don't understand all the minutiae of that, but it feels like they're a small company, but all of a sudden they've got this gigantic workload and this backlog, and they can't keep up. So you may be right. This is maybe just to keep them afloat and, just gets a cash infusion.
Yeah, but let's be frank. Well... it's an exclusive. I was going to say, really, realistically, who's pre-ordering this? Here. It's fine. It's limited overseas, but here. Who's going to day one pre-order this? Depending on how exclusive.
You'd be surprised how that fucking Chrome Stormtrooper sold.
People love the hype too, right? Like you have this exclusive up there and people will just lose their mind and not understand that, it'll be readily available later.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I have the gold Stormtrooper. And I would save your money. There's nothing like having the classic white Stormtrooper on the shelf. For me, that's how it is. I don't have it. I don't have the white one. Actually, my wife wanted to pick me up the remember the porcelain one?
Bro,
and
that's
I'm like,
an all-time
I don't want that
figure.
flippant. What the hell do I want a porcelain Stormtrooper for? I picked up the gold one. I don't know what possessed me to get the gold one. But I'm telling you, the white, in my opinion, I'd stick to the white. The classic look, that's the way to go. These are nice if you're a trooper, like you're a trooper collector, right? You get all the troopers, then it's nice to have like the gold, the chocolate. But if you're someone who doesn't have a Stormtrooper in the collection yet, I would try to save for the original, the white trooper.
You're right, and this is not a replacement for that. And I think you can get the $220 Mando with the pauldron, and you could just take off the pauldron, and that would pretty much suffice for a regular Stormtrooper if someone didn't have a standard one in the collection.
Which one are you talking about? The Mando one? I can't.
This is the squad leader, I believe. So he's got the pauldron on.
Yeah.
Comes with, yeah.
Okay.
It's it could be an easy plug and play.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll see what
I think
happens.
I'm still gonna wait for the double DX deluxe extra sideshow exclusive option
for this
now,
one.
These are based on the Rogue One Stormtrooper, aren't they?
Looks like they have the indentations on the grill, so probably, which doesn't make a lot of sense because the other ones are based off the A New Hope design,
which is the superior. Like just the chest and like
There
waist
you go.
region is like so much better.
These are blown out.
Yeah, I have my cam light on. Like they just look like real like elongated, kind of goofy.
If you want a really cool figure that I think you should go for, if you don't have it in the collection, it's 2 I missed out on, and I still kick myself. Go for the Han and Luke in Stormtrooper disguise.
Yeah,
that's where you should be putting your money in, because you can remove the portraits, you can have it as a Stormtrooper, or you can have the Han and Luke portraits. They're such well done figures. Back in the day, I don't think they'll ever reissue them, but nothing surprises me. But
nothing's off the table.
Those 2 were hits, and I think that's where you should put your money towards, if you're trying to find those, because you can get them at an affordable price here and there if you're patient.
Now, this fucking, my goodness, this needs to come to the United States. Iron Man Mark 46, again, not on Sideshow, at least as of this moment, from what I've been told. And I'm just super stoked. I'm gonna go ahead and lead on this one. This to me, I know it has its flaws. I've owned this figure twice. I 100% understand it's not a perfect figure, but it is damn near perfect. Such an amazing armor, such an amazing movie. You get all kinds of swap outs. You get the battle damage arc reactor, which I think is kind of interesting because he doesn't come with the portrait, which on that figure it has like a black eye, right? And I feel like I almost would rather this not have this damage part, because it's like that iconic scene, right? He gets basically fucking deactivated, and then it's got the black eyes, all sweaty and everything. And I genuinely, I always say, like, if you can preserve that value for the original, because I think that Mark 46 portrait, the one that Marco just got, one of the best Tony Stark portraits, I think. I mean, the paint work is fantastic. Sculpt is really good. This
Agreed.
one, you get a new base, which is, I don't remember this kind of architecture in that silo thing. So
yeah, the silo comes crashing down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. I could see that.
Isn't this when they're fighting? Captain America's fighting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No,
You're
right. He shoots the roof, and it all comes crashing down, and then they fight below. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I dig it. I think, again, I'm calling it the Asmus Gandalf syndrome. Motherfucker has like 3.5 square inches, which some would say is enough to stand on the base. And, other than that, I mean, I think this is a great release. Keep some value for that original portrait, because not only do you get the portrait in the original one, you also get, it's like the helmet kind of like retracts back, so you get this special neck piece. So even if you just bought the portrait, it wouldn't really look correct on this, because you need the neck guard. So I think, there's still some value for the original, and you're able to kind of get this out as an exclusive. Thank God for Michael. Jesus Christ. Poor guy. Yeah. The reissue guy on Facebook who'd been commenting it for years was sad it didn't come with the head sculpt. That's fucking amazing. Oh, yeah. It's almost like you make a wish to a genie and it just completely goes the wrong way.
Yeah, it's like
say it slightly the wrong way. Yeah.
Oh boy, what do you guys think about this? Because I'm really a big fan of this.
Oh, bro, this, like, I've owned several Iron Man suits, and I've used those to like get better suits. but this is like the end all be all for me of Iron Man suits. So like I love my Mark 46, or my Mark 7, but I'm getting rid of that the second I can to get this if it comes out over here. But that would be like the ultimate Iron Man in my collection. Like I didn't like the Mark 50, I didn't like the Mark 85. This is it. This is like the pinnacle for me of like the design, the aesthetic, the fucking movie. Like this is the Iron Man's own. So I'm super excited about it because by the time I started collecting Hot Toys, it was long gone and the price was fucking crazy. I had an opportunity to buy Zach's first one and I couldn't do it. And he sold it like literally like the same day. I was like, just see if somebody else will buy it. If not, like I'll come back in like a week or two. Immediately it was gone. And it was like the biggest regret of my life. So I have been waiting for this for a very long time and I'm really glad to see it. Like Zach said, it doesn't come with all the good stuff, but you know, I'm never going to put that Tony Stark head on it anyway. So this is it for me.
See, and on that point, I like to pose my Iron Man with the head sculpt on. I know I'm kind of in the minority when it comes to that. And so I would have been personally
it's
like
not the first time you're in the minority.
Wow, I knew you were going to go there. I had to get racial with it.
Bro, you can't say that, dude.
I'm a minority also. What the fuck?
So am I.
Wow, yeah.
Well.
Anyways, moving on. So I would have been upset, but you know, obviously, luckily, I picked this one up from Mario because I knew it was going to be reissued any day now, but I was like, I want it now, and it was a good enough price where if it got reissued, I wouldn't cry over it. So I do appreciate them kind of preserving that release with a different base without adding the head sculpts, but it is kind of a bummer for those who would want the Tony Stark head sculpt because, Zach, like you said, the black eye, it's kind of like a unique iteration of that sculpt. So that's kind of a bummer. And this one's more likely going to be between 415 and 450. And without the sculpt, who knows how much we can deduct from that. But it's cool for those who missed it. I do appreciate that they're dipping back in. But it would have also been nice to see at least like add some of the innovation you've done for other Iron Men. Like put the USB charged, you know, instead of just a straight, you know, almost a reissue, but with some different parts. Like do some type of tech update.
Meat on the bone, Marco. Okay, that was what I was gonna say. I'm just kidding. Would you guys say though that the innovation from some of the Hot Toys bases that we've been seeing lately is at least pretty impressive? Like, I know we weren't a huge fan of the Sandman base for the Spider-Man, but this base looks pretty cool, and like the one that came with the Wolverine is coming with the Wolverine looks pretty cool, and they tried to do it with Spider-Man. Like, it seems like they're trying to up their diorama base.
The Mark III was way better than this, though. This is kind of like a
the Mark III was
it
definitely
cool,
better.
But,
yeah. I guess like that's the thing, right? If you didn't recognize the scene that this is from, you might just be kind of like, oh, whatever, you know. It's almost too bad sometimes that they put the base plate on it, right? So that you couldn't necessarily just take this and put it with like a Deadpool or a Cable or somebody else, right? If we ever get Cable, but. I agree with you, though. It's weird that they gave you this nice base, but then they didn't give like a USB port for him that you could kind of hide it within the base, and because it seems like a really good opportunity to do that. I missed this suit. I loved this film, but for me, my Mark 7 is still, I think, for me, the suit that wins, at least for my collection. If I'm going to get another one, it would be the Mark III, just because I love that first film, and again, that first iconic scene in the desert. This suit doesn't necessarily jive with my setup, but I think it's really, really cool looking. And I do like that it helps kind of John's and Marco's point from the last couple of weeks, where we've been talking about reissues and, you know, still having reissues maintain their value and keeping the value of the original. Like, I liked the fact that the original still came with that head sculpt and that this is a little bit different. Because then I think for you guys who, you know, don't love the reissue side of it, I think it's cool. I think that they're kind of trying to satisfy both sides. It is hilarious that poor guy who comments all the time was disappointed about the head sculpt, but it's the way she goes. It's the way she goes.
The way she goes.
Yeah.
I think they need to stop with the Iron Man. Stop. This is cool. Whatever. I personally don't think the head sculpt's enough to kind of, the portrait's enough to differentiate the original from this one. But for me personally, I think they need to stop. Like, we're going back to Civil War still. And man, if you go on Sideshow's site, the amount of Iron Man figures that are still available, the amount of Marvel figures still available on that site is unbelievable. We're going back to Civil War, guys. I can't agree with it. I cannot, and I can only imagine what the price point is going to be on that thing.
It's not going to be cheap. But so what would you have liked to see to differentiate it more from the previous release, though? If the sculpt isn't and the base aren't enough for you,
Just don't do it. There's nothing that you need to do. Like, maybe, I don't know. What do you call it? USB wireless. The only thing I can see where they differ. Well, no, because it's still Shaft's the original. Don't do it. That's it.
We almost had him, boys.
Almost. Give me a happy with half a Phantom, Rolls Royce Phantom. There you go. That's an exclusive. Don't flip and give me another one. It just keeps on going. We need the clip from DJ Khaled. Another one. That's all it is. Every Hot Toy flipping discussion we're going to do is going to be another one.
Let me ask you this, Marco. You just, and maybe, forgive me if you mentioned this. You just paid, quite a bit over, or not quite a bit, but over retail on this piece.
It wasn't. It was like
we heard a bit,
a few bucks over retail. It was
okay. So you're not.
Yeah,
you're not
it was like
not
even the price of shipping over retail. So
okay.
I'm not salty over it. Mario made me a really good deal on it. But even then, let's say I paid, I don't know, like $450 for it. I would have to buy that knowing that this was going to be reissued any day. There were calls for it, obviously, by one particular guy, but it's such a popular movie and such a popular suit that I just would have had to know. So I buy these older figures kind of with the knowledge that you got to stay in a certain range where you won't cry, right? Like this Harley Quinn, they could reissue her any day, even though the movie's, pretty trash, but they haven't made a better Harley Quinn since this one. So I could see them dipping back into that. And even though I paid more than retail, that one's probably a significant percentage over retail. I can't cry over it because that's just the nature of the game at this point.
Boys, we got to play something for you guys real quick. We have officially hit, hang on, let me pull this up here, 2,000 subscribers. So let's get a round of applause going. 2,000 subs. You love to see it.
You love it.
You love
That's
to
awesome,
see
boys.
it.
Very nice.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you guys for tuning in live. We got 85 people watching live. We're gonna kind of celebrate this just for a minute here. 6 Skill Mafia, been a minute. Congrats on the 2K subs. Bet John's loving this Iron Man. Yeah, this is also. Erwin makes a great point. There's no empty cap helmet. That was also something from the first release.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's wow. What a milestone. We're working hard for this. We'll be doing the giveaway next Tuesday. I wasn't expecting to hit it tonight, but we will be doing that next Tuesday. Make sure to join Collecting Weekly Auxiliary so that you can be entered to win. Also just to give everyone a few extra days to get their sheeps in a row. We'll think of some bonus stuff, for After Dark tomorrow. We'll probably do a few bonus entries, so we'll get you guys involved on the channel this week. And I think John's out of town from Off the Rack, so it'll be a nice little segue. And then I think on Monday we have a very cool giveaway from Lane Kramer that John will do. So John, you want to go ahead and plug that for me?
Yeah, Lane was gracious enough to donate a Optimus Prime, a beautiful figure by 3-0. So we're going to be doing that now that we hit the 2,000. Congratulations, guys. We're going to be doing that on Monday for Monday Night Unboxing. We'll incorporate that giveaway, so you guys better be tuning in.
100%. Euler says 2K, only 198,000 more to start making that good money. It's not too bad right now, but yeah, you are correct.
Let me say something quick about this. Are we going back to this, or are we still celebrating? Because
let's we'll go back to it, and then we'll read some comments. Go ahead.
I just want to say, do you guys not agree that they should be moving on?
Oh, 100% they should be looking
100%.
forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will say, but of every Iron Man that's ever been released, I would say if you ask people that have owned 5 or 6 Iron Men, this is that figure, right? I mean, you're talking all time, up there with some of the best Hot Toys ever made. So it's a toughie. I definitely think they got to move on. Civil War's way, way, way long ago. Yeah,
but there are so many new collectors that came in during the pandemic, like myself, that missed out on this one, right? So that's really who this is targeted at, I would say.
Tough. You should have started collecting 10 years ago.
I wish I would have. I wish I had the money and the space.
But it's true. It's honestly, Ben, it's true though. And if you didn't start collecting 10 years ago, then you should have. You got to pay up, Buttercup. That's just
definitely
how. That's how.
Hey,
it
no,
is.
and that's what I did, right? I went
That's
back
the worst
and
that he
got
did.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst.
But I'm not upset that they reissued it, and I think that's the difference, because I appreciate that others can get this release, but I also do appreciate that they preserved the version I have just a bit.
I think the fact that the chat is split and that even like we can be a little bit split on it is indicative that like there is some fatigue there for it. But for the people who aren't fatigued by it, they're still stoked about it. So it's like I'm seeing it from kind of both sides. It's not that I'm shooting rainbows by any stretch, but I am happy for the folks who have been waiting for this, who didn't necessarily have to pay over. So,
Badfish, congrats to CW. You guys provide so much entertainment for me stuck working from home. Thank you so much, you sweet angels. Carlito, congrats on 2K. Equan, props to 2K. You guys deserve it. Honestly, you guys deserve 4K. PT Works and S Beam on either side of the fence there. Agree, disagree. Lane Kramer with the $2 super chat. Thanks again for having me on last night. Hey, Lane, hopefully you guys are able to get something worked out with Off the Racks. And we got to order Lane one of our new unboxing towels. So if you're getting a little flustered during an unboxing, you can tap that forehead. Erwin says CW is still the best crew and nothing can top that. Mad respect to everyone in the network and the hard work.
Appreciate that.
Love to see it. Let's not derail this too much longer. Captain America's stealth suit, again, not up for pre-order yet. This is from in-game, the opening scene. Cap has the stealth suit armor, or suit rather, and I think it's pretty cool. I like the inclusion there of the spent gauntlet. I think that's really cool. I think the portrait looks okay. I think we were on stream last night in the back room just fucking around when all this stuff went down, and I know some of the people with us there said they didn't like the portrait, but I think the build looks decent. I'm not a big physique guy, but I think the traps look pretty decent here. And honestly, I mean, this is a figure that when the trailer dropped, everyone was saying, hey, it's going to happen. This has got to be a new thing by Hot Toys. Never came out. And, a few years later, we're getting the figure. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. But I'm curious what you guys have to say.
I honestly thought the portrait was the same as the endgame portrait, but now that I'm seeing this picture like in the center, I'm thinking maybe not. He looks a little bit more angry in this portrait than he does in the endgame.
It looks exactly the same to me.
It looks like a portrait they used before, that's for sure.
But I thought it was the same portrait from Endgame. I like that they scaled the body better. I think that the suit, it's weird, like in different lighting or different shots that I've seen of it, some of the shots look like kind of the darker, more stealth suit look, and others look a little bit more on the light blue. So I think it will depend on what kind of like lighting you have this guy in. I would have liked to see him come with the stealth shield. I think that would have been cool. Is it from that scene? I honestly have to go back for because this is from the scene where he goes down at the beginning of Endgame, right? And they kill Thanos. That's why he's got the Infinity Gauntlet in his hand.
That's it. Yep.
With the stones are burnt out, right? And so, honestly, from my mind's eye from that film, I thought he was wearing the Endgame suit the whole time. I literally have to go back and rewatch that scene now, which is hilarious. But it would have been cool to see the stealth shield in addition, maybe, or something along those lines. But otherwise, I kind of felt a little bit bored by this release. I hate to say it. I think if you've wanted a stealth suit version, it's pretty cool that you can get it in your collection now. But now that I've got the Endgame suit, I mean, he comes with the extra helmet. He comes with all the faceplates. He comes with the shield. He comes with Thor's hammer. He comes with virtually all of it already. So I can't justify buying it again, almost, just for a slight different coloration in the suit, unless you are a Captain America collector, unless you want to have all the different versions of the film. So
definitely.
For me, this will be a skip. I'll skip this one, to be honest.
What's going on, Jeff?
And I do agree with a lot of those points, Ben. I will say I really do like this release. This is one of the cooler Captain America outfits to me, and I do like Winter Soldier a lot. But I will say, it's a bit of laziness on Hot Toys' part, because he does have the longer kind of mullety hair, a little bit closer to Civil War at the start of the movie. So, they could have just given it, retool the sculpt a little bit and give us a slight variation of what came with the Endgame version. Obviously, this being another Endgame version. And then also, I think someone else in the chat said he shouldn't have the shield as well, right? He doesn't have it at this point in the film. So if they're going to give the shield, like, make it a special reason why it's there. Like, I heard Denobi speculating that it might be die-cast, and so that could be like a cool way to differentiate this from the endgame version. That being said, it is pretty bland overall and just a bunch of reused parts, and it's cool that they've made the body a bit better, but nothing that's too exciting, but I still kind of want it.
Move on. He isn't our Captain America anymore. Move on. 3 years too late. Someone said in the chat, 100%. Move on. Move on.
Speaking of moving on,
there we go.
We got the M Toys Wong teaser. So this is just the portrait so far. Love the detail on the hair. Love the detail on the skin. And we also got to see the Toys Battalion Wong. I think it was Useby in the chat was like, well, that means we're getting the Hot Toys one next week, so we shall see. Any of you guys have any thoughts on this? I don't particularly have much to say from these
Nothing
two.
wrong with that.
Jesus Christ, you're on a roll. Yeah.
It looks good, to be honest, for a third party. It's not bad, the portrait, to be honest.
I would say the Toys Battalion looks a bit thin, to be honest.
No, the portrait. The only thing I think is the nose, but the portrait's on the Toys Battalion one. That other photo, I think the portrait's pretty good. You're saying the face is thin.
Yeah, so these are two different companies right here. So this is M Toys here, and then Toys Battalion here. But I think he's too thin in the face.
Too thin. I thought you were talking about the body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Body probably too a little bit. I mean, he's kind of a girthy boy. This is more what I'm at, to be honest.
Well, I like that you can see his like skin texturing even, and like some of his like his dimpling and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. He's been in what six Marvel movies now. Like I almost can't believe Hot Toys hasn't given us one yet. And so I think Sean's right, a nail on the head. I think now that we're getting teased, we're gonna get teased a Wong next, right? And I know we already moved on, but the only other thing I was gonna say about that Endgame cap, because I just thought of it, was like, how have we still not received the Endgame Loki yet? Like that has been 3 years in the making. So like I think if anything, it's like fatigued for some of these re-releases and reused parts and stuff of that. But some of the figures that they have announced, like we were talking about earlier, like the Loki that people have been waiting for, still haven't got it yet. And that's an Endgame film. This guy, though, I hope that, you said M Toys? I hope that they paint that up so we can see a little bit better of what that likeness looks like, because I think that'd be pretty sweet. Sweet to have that.
Eddie is right. Yeah, he's saying he got thinner in some of the shots we've seen him in the upcoming films.
Long.
But like this is a great example. We haven't gone this character, but we're getting another Iron Man, another Cap. Come on, it's unacceptable.
Definitely. We also have some Star Trek news. Ben, take us through this.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. So this is Commander Saru from the Star Trek show Discovery. Now, Discovery is not a hugely popular show with a lot of Star Trek fans. Some folks like it. A lot of people really didn't. But one of the things that I think Exo-6 has done well so far is some of the likeness in some of the aliens that they've showcased and some of the different species that we might get to see from Exo-6. What they did differently with this figure, though, was they put this on for immediate purchase. So instead of having like a standard like pre-order window for the figure, and then you could kind of lock in your order and then you get it later on, they made this guy essentially available right away. They put it on the website, immediate purchase available. For some folks, they absolutely loved it. They were like, that's amazing. I want to be able to buy what I want to be able to buy. I don't want a waiting period. And so that's badass. Other folks, kind of like myself, went, well, I haven't had any time to like save for it. I haven't really seen much in the way of images. I haven't seen any in-hand option or like shots yet, other than what they've shown at some of their cons. So for me, like, it makes me want to wait. But then there's also that question of, will it sell out, or will it stop? Like, will they stop making it if he becomes too expensive to make? And so Nanjin actually had messaged me on my YouTube channel today because he wanted to kind of put in there that basically in order to not halt production or not have to raise prices later, some figures like this one that are a little bit more expensive and premium to make in the interim, they have to do immediate purchase, because if it sits on the shelf for too long or sits in the warehouse for too long, they'll have to raise their prices down the line. And that's something, and maybe it's a spoiler for our next slide, but that's something that they've had to do with the 7 of 9 from Star Trek Voyager. She has a more expensive body to produce. They had to go through like a certain like company for like, I guess, the metallic or the metal like underbody, and apparently. And it's and those cheeks, and it's gotten too expensive to produce. So Exo6 has actually taken 7 of 9, the pre-order, right off of their website, and it created a bit of a stir because everybody that wants one is like, well, what about Sideshow, or what about some of these other groups that are selling the 7 of 9? Like, will our orders still be honored? And the answer is yes. So if you've got a pre-order in with Sideshow, Nanjin has confirmed that Sideshow did get a certain stock level. So as long as their pre-order is up, you should still get it. But that it's likely too expensive to continue this line going forward. So once she's done, it's probably done, unless we see either a major price hike in the future or again, that demand for it. But if you're interested in the Saru, or if you're interested in the 7 of 9, I would get them probably sooner than later, because I think once they sell out, they'll end up increasing in value and be a little harder to find for sure.
Maybe I missed it, but did they say that they would put 7 of 9 back up at a higher price point, or is it just like that? That's it.
At this point, they've said that they're just planning to stop production on it. Like, they're going to fulfill the orders that they've made, and then that's it. They're pulling the plug on her entirely. Which is too bad, right? But then a lot of Exo6 people have been saying, the collectors have been already complaining that they're getting to be too expensive. They're in the 225 now. Next it's going to be 230, 235, and then it's getting really close to those Hot Toys prices. But the sculpt quality is not really there, especially for some of their human characters. Like, you can see the Michael Burnham here. She's okay. She's like a 7 out of 10. But I definitely wouldn't pay Hot Toys prices for that figure. At least the Saru is different. He's got I can't tell if he's got a unique body or if he's just on stilts in those boots. But clearly he's more expensive to produce if they're putting him up for immediate purchase.
So what time frame do we give? Let's just say, what time frame are you giving for Exo6 to just pull the plug on the entire license?
I don't think that they will, because it doesn't sound like Nanjin necessarily plans to make very much money from Star Trek. I think he only really, because he's mentioned it a few times, not only in live streams, but also in some of the chat groups and stuff that he's in.
He says, bro.
Is that Star Trek is not necessarily a money-making line. That it's kind of a passion project for him. He wants this for his own collection, and he wants to give it to other people that want it for their collections. I think the challenging part about that is differentiating whether that's actually the truth, or is that a marketing tactic to get people to kind of FOMO buy some of these things, and then it's going to be like, oh, surprise, we got a better deal on that 7 of 9 body and she's back, or they haven't been out long enough to know whether it's bullshit or not. So that'll be interesting to see, but he doesn't sound like he's necessarily trying to make money on these lines. He's just trying to get them in people's hands.
Well, we'll see what happens with now it's a third-party company. Are they still going ahead with this, with their Star Trek stuff they said they were doing? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't.
The one that caused all the
the mumbo jumbo.
Possibly. Okay. It's Present Toys, so I don't really think that they bow to pressure from studios or from other companies. So, I mean, they recast, big name artists all the time. So, I doubt it.
Ninja Scroll makes a good point. Like, for all we know, Star Trek could end up, the licensee could end up pulling the license from Exo6, right? Because they're not meeting up with their production numbers. And, that's an amazing point, Ninja. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. This was a thing. It's the Shark Toys SH004 Avalanche Leader 175, released in Q4 2022. Is this Duke Nukem?
No, it's Barrett Wallace, dude. The baddest motherfucker on the planet.
Is the skin tone just completely off, though?
Should be a little darker, but yeah, he seems kind of.
I think more than a little, but the figure looks cool at least.
Yeah, Barrett is one of those characters. If you don't know,
this is Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VII. This is his look from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Barrett is one of those guys who rarely gets any love figure wise. They did the original one back in '97, and then we didn't get another Barrett until the movie, and then the remake Never went in 6 scale, so this is the first. I just don't see anyone else making this thing, so I went ahead and pre-ordered it. 175 Q4 this year, so right around the corner. Pre-order popped up like a couple days ago, so I don't know how they're turning that around. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I'll go with my cloud. Big old Fern with the super chat. Congrats on 2K, my boys. Thank you.
Guy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fern.
Yeah, shout out to everybody on the team that is, listening. Or also shout out to the people listening to help us get here. So, yeah, I'm excited for this. I know I'm probably the only one that's... No, Marco, you played the game, didn't you?
I did, yeah. And this is one of the cooler character designs, so I'm shocked that no one else has even attempted this because he looks dope.
Yeah, but pretty much just player arts Kai makes Barrett. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to at least have 6 scale on the shelf. So it looks good enough. Like I know who it's supposed to be. It's not offensive to look at. So yeah, I can't wait for it.
Now I kind of want to Duke Nukem.
Damn it, I thought it was Duke Nukem. Dean left me to hang. He didn't put any other details about this. Jesus, Eddie in the
Duke
chat.
Nukem doesn't have a gun for an arm.
It looks like he's holding the gun. Eddie, another IP no one cares about. Jesus Christ, Eddie's on a roll tonight.
Okay, that's fucking not true. How dare you? Oh, yeah, I'm just
he's just trying to get Dean riled up.
It works.
75 people watching, 26 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Let's get those bad boys up. Yeah, that's very cool, Dean. So are you going to order this from our good friend in San Antonio?
Yes, I did. This morning, actually.
Very, very cool. Love to see it. This is also very cool. LEGO fans can design their own minifigure for $12 to beta for the new online LEGO minifigure factory in the US. It's an easy-to-use online tool that lets people configure their face, headwear, torso, legs, and accessories for $11.99. To me, that's really going to be something fun to mess with. Definitely. So be sure to check that out if you're a LEGO fan. Now, there's been a little bit of, more drama with the clone Chrome Trooper. And Marco, I'll let you take lead on this one. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so after all the hoopla of Sideshow not sending notifications and just charging everyone's card for this, some people like myself were able to get put on payment plans. Some people had to cancel because they weren't offered that option. Others have just kind of have eaten the charge, which obviously we all pre-ordered this figure, so we knew there was a certain risk. But since then, Sideshow has not shipped any figures from what I can tell. So all the collectors that I know, I have not seen any shipping notifications go out. And so this is a little bit of a dirty tactic. And I know not brand new to Sideshow. I know they've done this before with figures they don't necessarily have ready to ship out. But a lot of folks I've talked to just have preparing to ship and they've already paid their funds and no update on when the figure might be going out.
Dirty.
And it's tough. We kind of talk about the Sideshow customer service, but if they're not going to always make it right for you, then you're really paying a premium to go with them. So that's a bit of the frustration there.
Yeah,
so they've charged people, and then it's just like it'll ship.
It becomes preparing to ship, basically.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, so this just released in Hong Kong, right? So there are other collectors overseas who have this in hand now, but no domestic collectors, from what I can tell, have it shipped out yet.
Trumbull Dust's been waiting more than a week plus for Sideshow to ship Nightmare Batman 2-pack. Yeah, the things I've seen, I think... Marco, you said you've seen one collector actually get theirs in hand in the United States. I haven't seen any. Obviously, sample size probably isn't very big, but at least on the groups, I haven't seen too many, and a lot of people are very upset by this. I will say, though, I don't know. It's weird because it's like they charge people without notifying them, but then it's not like it was at the shipping dock ready to go out to people's houses. So it's like you put these people in all this stress basically for no reason. It's a toughie. It's a toughie.
John, let me just say this really quick, and then you can jump in there. And we're speculating. Obviously, what you're going to say is speculation. We're not Fox
definitely
News,
we're all
but
specs.
but what I've seen the speculation on is that, it was about to release in Hong Kong. Sideshow wanted to get ahead of that and kind of lock people's dollars in so they don't end up canceling and then going overseas to buy it from, a discounted retailer. So it kind of makes sense. Honestly, that adds up to me, but no confirmation on that being the tactic.
We're Foxy News, not Fox News. Don't worry about it.
What were you saying, John?
I don't think these companies are doing well, in my opinion.
Financially?
Financially, yeah. I think the world's not in a state right now where their focus is collectibles, and I think they bid off a lot. They put a lot of stuff up for pre-order. They made things in massive quantities. For me personally, I think slow down, because I think economy-wise we're not doing the best, and I don't think they're doing very well.
Yeah, I gotta agree with John there, because I think maybe these companies made some of these big orders and now they're just sitting on stock, right? You go on Sideshow, to me, to be honest, what was the last convention? SDCC or Celebration, whatever. I mean, incredibly large discounts, right? I mean, you're talking something like $150 off the premium format, some premium formats. I mean, that's not an insignificant number, right?
Yeah.
For a piece like that. I mean, that's 20-30%. You got to think that warehouse is pretty full, and that's what happened to Steven, right? Steven's Collectibles. He had a bunch of stuff ordered. Fucking docs got backed up. They finally basically released all his shit at once, and he's got a store literally overflowing with things. Had to do weeks worth of sidewalk sales to kind of clearance out some inventory, right? I mean, get some cash flow going for big orders coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, still like, yeah, I got to do more of these sales. Like, they're great for us. We're making a little bit of money is better than just having stuff sit in the back. But yeah, I completely agree, John. I mean, it's got to be a money thing, man.
And those mom and pops are really who I feel for as well, right? Because Sideshow in the past has kind of capped how low they can discount things, so then they end up sitting on all these figures, and it puts them in a really tough position. With John, like John saying, these companies are hurting. People have other priorities to spend their money, so it's really tough on the mom and pops. I'm certain of it.
But I mean, maybe it is a money thing, but wouldn't that just be the dumbest choice to make possible? Like, people are already feeling worried about, putting their money in with Sideshow. If this had happened to me, the first thing I would do is take my credit card off Sideshow entirely. I would only ever consider flex plans in the future if I was going to do it. Or I would literally save my money in a bank account and potentially not emotional buy like people do all the time when they've got their credit card easily linked to the system. Like, for them to do this as we're hurting for money, so we're going to see if we can get away with it kind of thing. If anything, I would think that that's just going to deter people from actually investing in them in the future.
So what do you think
and hurt their business even worse. Honestly, I think it was probably a fuck up, but it's also not the first time this has happened. Right? I can't remember what the other figure was now off the top. Should have done my homework. Apologies. But I know this isn't the first time that Sideshow's done this. I also do think that shit happens. I think that they probably, some kind of error in the system, and it's like, oops. And then they tried to apologize for it, and people aren't having it.
I don't think they've apologized, though.
No, they haven't.
I mean, that's a fucking
not
convenient
public,
error.
Not publicly, but they have in their emails, right? Anybody who's emailed their customer service, that's been the pretty consistent response. It was a computer error. Sorry about that. Here's what here is the the solution, or here's what we can do for you.
Yeah, but they didn't say
type of thing. They should do a public statement, though. I think
they should. I think, to make it right,
they should
offer people the chance for a refund. Offer to cover. Either in real money or Sideshow rewards if you got hit with an overdraft fee, because I mean, fuck, dude, $600 come out of nowhere, fucking knock me on my ass. And I think 100%. They have to also add some rewards on top of that. Sorry, John.
No, it's okay. A computer error. Okay, that's fine. Computer error. But then you come out and you say, hey, sorry, we had a computer error. All the funds that we've taken from your accounts, we're going to put back. That didn't happen. People had to call. People still haven't gotten their money back, stuff like that. So that's where I think that it's not. If it was a computer error, then the professionalism coming from Sideshow's customer service wise is ridiculous.
Well, and that's,
I will say,
agreed.
And Ben,
that's
let me just. I will say they did refund me. They did let me put it on a payment plan. So,
but you had to call.
I did have to call, correct, and they didn't promise it. They said, let's see what we can do.
Kind of up in the air for a bit.
And they kind of waited a whole day to do that. And I know that wasn't offered to everyone. So they made it right for me, but not for everybody.
When was this slated to arrive?
So initially, when people committed to it, remember this happened live during our show. When we took all the information that week, it was July to November 2023. That evening, right before our show, they had updated it to be July to November 2022. And then a few days later, again, if I recall correctly, they sent out emails saying they were updating everyone's flex payments from starting next year to starting basically
crazy.
now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it I don't know. It's to me, that whole situation is wild, and I don't want to spend too much more time here, but
it's a beautiful figure too, right? Like I cannot wait to get it in hand, and it's a bummer that everyone's had all this drama with it.
I will say,
but then they released the Chrome Stormtrooper. Isn't that just like throwing a little salt in the wound?
And then people are pissed off about it. People don't even want to touch that because of the experience they've had with this.
Here you go. Sorry, Zach.
I will say though, for all the things we say about Sideshow, they hooked me up good today. Jesus Christ, excellent customer service on them.
Nice.
This is the Bucky from, I want to say Bucky and Cap, right? The Disney Plus show got released this week.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Thank you. Jesus, what am I even thinking about? I don't like it. What do y'all think?
The portraits are rough. That's really rough. It's
bad.
It's bad.
On some angles, it's spot on, and then others, I'm like, oh, like who's that supposed to be? Sebastian Stan's so handsome, you fucking did him dirty. But it's also just a lackluster figure. Like it comes with the same gun the Civil War version came with, and it just like not as good.
Well, and I don't think he actually did. He even use that gun in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't think he did. I think they kind of just threw it in the box, but I don't think he actually used that gun in that.
Yeah, I think he just fist fights in that show because he's like anti-killing people in that show, if I remember correctly.
And this is just one of those sculpts that looks, like you said, under certain lights it looks decent, other ones it looks horrendous. I will say, Nicolio's mentioning this as well. I saw Stephen Beam's, S-Beam's review, and he had a few pictures where it looked really great next to Captain America, the Steve Rogers version. So there's a lot of things to dislike about this, but just like every Hot Toys, there's a lot of redeeming qualities to it, and it's not for us, but definitely for some might be really excited for this.
That buckle on that pleather, that's making me nervous, man.
Yeah. The pleather especially. If anything, it would have been nice to see the leather like we're seeing with the Logan.
Because it is such a simplistic figure, so if they kind of elevated that would have been. I agree with you completely.
Yeah, but yeah, S-Beam. I saw his photos, and at first I saw these pictures of the figure, and I was like, I don't think so. It's not for me. And then I saw his figure posed with Captain America, and like his picture had like Steve Rogers, holding Bucky's shoulder, and I was like, that's a cool picture under the right lighting. I'm like, okay. So I hate to say it's the lighting, but sometimes it is. It's the way it's shot. It's the way it's, and it's. I guess it's the connection, right? If you can build a story with your figures, sometimes like that just elevates it even that much more. Just seeing that broship between the two guys, like it's pretty cool. So. Thank you, S-Beam, for delivering some badass photos and making me want this more than
that
normal.
cheap stuff tonight, I'm telling you.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Also released the Venomized... There you go. He's got the devil's lettuce. The Venomized Iron Man, which has kind of been growing on me a little bit this week, but I'm still on the fence on this one. What do you guys think?
This was the one Hot Toys did their first like kind of video, right? With what's his name? Howard Chan came out and kind of talked about it.
Yeah, I think he's listening to John. He's like, "Fuck you," he's calling me out.
Translator and all. It's they had the captions on. This is like when the statue companies are doing the same thing. They're doing like Venomized Hulk and stuff. This is just like an artistic kind of sideline that if you want something different in the collection. For it to pop, the collection to pop, it's different. I don't know. It's not for me personally, but if you're a completist, then I can see why you'd want to hop on the line. For me, it's different enough that hey, you could add it to the collection, but no, I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I hate almost everything about this. It's there's like not enough Iron Man in it. It's like 95%
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah, I see that.
I would have liked to see at least more Iron Man, at least 50-50, you know what I mean? But I mean, I get it. I could see how people like it. For me personally, it's absolutely not, with the crab legs and yeah, it just, for me personally, there's zero appeal here.
I thought they were
appreciate that.
spider legs. I thought they were.
They are, yeah.
Yeah,
They are, but they look like crab legs.
They're the spider legs from the logo, right? I kind of appreciate them, to be honest.
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like three-dimensional.
Yeah, it's cool.
Four, three, four.
But like,
I didn't
that's
expect
never
to agree with
happened.
John so much tonight, but like, what the heck?
It's
Love
never
it. I love
happened,
to
but
see
that's
it.
why it's an artistic take.
I know, but it's just kind of like, I guess,
Yo,
like, why would Venom put spider legs on his chest? Like,
I take this over the any one of those reissues you showed me today.
also,
Yeah, at
why
least they're trying something different.
I guess.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Why?
Oh well, because Venom, sans the Spider-Man, doesn't have the spider logo on his chest. So it's like, why would he have the spider logo if he's attaching himself to Iron Man?
Wait, say that again. Venom. What?
Like, until he comes into contact with Spider-Man, he doesn't have the spider on his chest.
Okay.
So it's like, well,
I mean, we're telling a story
even if this
here.
is after Spider-Man is attaching himself to Iron Man, why would he still have
This
the
is an
spider
artistic
logo?
take.
I'm just saying, like,
It's almost like it's like this, Teen, right? If it didn't have it, we would complain, right? Because that's what we do. It's like for the stealth suit cap, right? Maybe you didn't have it in the movie, but if they, God forbid, they release that cap without a shield, we'd be doing cartwheels to fucking roast the
People would be
figure. So
pissed, yeah.
I don't hate it. It's not my, as you said, it's not my favorite, but it is my least favorite.
Just one quick thing. I would have liked to see Iron Man's boot there instead of another claw. His shoe.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
The
more,
asymmetrical design.
Yeah.
They just straight reuse the feet from the
Yes.
other Venom release, and it looks kind of goofy.
I like that they still kept him pretty tall, though. When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh, is it going to be the height of an Iron Man then, or is it going to be the height of a Venom?" And it's definitely closer to like the Venom release in terms of inches. I just pulled it up on Sideshow for me in Canadian dollars. Anyways, it's showing at 564,
Jesus
565, which is crazy. So that converts to about 435, I think, USD. Which that's a tough pill to swallow. That's
Before
That's a
customs.
lot of money. Yeah,
It's a
and
tough nut to
customs
swallow.
And taxes.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking like for us, we're looking at over $600 to get this in hand if we want from the US. So that would be tricky. I do appreciate though that they did give us like a different like Venom, like sculpt in terms of his face. Like they changed the way his eye looks a little bit. Like they made it unique to this figure. They didn't just necessarily copy and paste a bunch of what they've already done with the previous Venom. So I can appreciate that. And I think like I feel like sometimes it sounds like a cop-out answer, but it's really not. Like I think for some collectors out there, this is going to be like one of those releases that like once people start seeing it in hand or seeing it on the shelf, like you can't walk past somebody's collection and not look at this. Even if you're not like a crazy, like even if this is what you necessarily would want to buy, it will definitely have some crazy shelf presence. And then ultimately, I think these are the types of figures sometimes that end up becoming grails down the line because a lot of people are like, nah. They don't buy it, and then they finally sell out, and then everybody wants a Venom Iron Man once we start seeing other Venomized characters from the MCU or from wherever, right? So
that's a good point, but that's not going to happen with this one. But no, I'm joking.
Not for you.
But no, I actually kind of like this one. It is just like a unique take, like John was saying, have them do something different. Kind of as Ben was saying, there's going to be certain collectors that are really excited for this, and I'm just glad that they're branching out a bit. I really do not like the spider legs at all. Like that kind of kills it 100% for me, but this is way overpriced. If money was not an option, I would take this bad boy in a second though, because I guarantee you, like Ben was saying, you put him on the shelf, he would pop. So something different, but definitely a bargain bin candidate.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I can't wait to see the video on it, Marco. Let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
We want to. I never mute myself. The fucking second I got to read the sponsor, I mute myself. 1/6 Corner. We want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Their mission is to provide the best figures and collectibles to their customers. They offer great prices, great packaging, fast shipping, and best in the business customer service. Collecting Weekly listeners get 10% off in-stock figures while our show is live. Just be sure to use code capital C, capital W, 10. Choose your figures, pay safely with PayPal, and you can leave the rest to them.
We definitely appreciate their help. Now, we're going to be doing this giveaway on Tuesday, the 2,000 subscriber celebration for the Hot Toys Shore Trooper, sponsored by Off the Rack Collectibles. To enter, subscribe to Collecting Weekly and Collectors Enabled. Join Collecting Weekly Auxiliary Facebook group. I'll drop the link for you guys right there. Comment hashtag CW2K on the giveaway post. It's right there at the top of the page. Easy to see. Also, some opportunities for some bonus entries on the post already. We'll do some bonus entries tomorrow. And yeah, big shout out to Off the Racks for this opportunity and for sponsoring us for the past few weeks till we got this milestone. It definitely helped. And definitely check out their YouTube channel. They do some great stuff. Now, I always say this, but it's like there's that meme or like that clip from Harry Potter where, you know, it's like anytime there's trouble, it's always you two. And in this case, come on, man. It just seems like every 6 months there's some new Toys Wonderland thing, or every week there's some drama, like, you know, people not getting their orders, people buy their summer sale, they don't get their thing shipped, they get stuff that's the wrong figure, they can't make cancellations. It's honestly exhausting. And Hot Toys put out a statement. Toys Wonderland put out 2 statements. We'll go and read the first statement, and then we'll kind of get into it. This is by Hot Toys. Toys Wonderland Limited is not and has not been Hot Toys' wholesale partner, distributor, or dealer. It has recently come to Hot Toys' attention that Toys Wonderland Limited is without Hot Toys' consent promoting, marketing, and selling of Hot Toys collectibles globally via Toys Wonderland Limited's official website and online channels, under and by reference to Hot Toys' trademarks and copyrighted works, online images and contents, and Toys Wonderland Limited intentionally misleads Hot Toys collectors into believing that its sale of Hot Toys collectibles is endorsed or associated with Hot Toys, which is beyond the honest practice in industrial or commercial matters under the law. We advise our collectors to purchase Hot Toys collectibles directly from Hot Toys official channels. This is a statement, right? But it's a giant nothing burger, right? They're stopping short of calling what they're doing illegal. They're not really doing anything. In fact, you know, we have this phrase, you know, say it with your chest. Like, they put this on their Facebook stories, not even like an official post, which disappears after 24 hours. And everyone got riled up. I think, you know, the last time there was this drama, I said, you know, if you feel comfortable making that purchase with them, go ahead. I think since then, I still think people should be free to buy where they want to buy, regardless of regional distribution. But boy, they are becoming a very hard company to defend. Toys Wonderland. It's gotten pretty rough. Do you guys have anything to say from this statement here? If not, we'll move forward into the other 2 statements.
I just wanted to say quick. I'll just say quick. Yeah. Hot Toys is only finding out now. I call baloney on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry, Dean.
It seems really well written for a company that speaks primarily a different language as well. Like, to me, this has Sideshow stamped all over it, truthfully, and that I think clearly Sideshow and Hot Toys have a good enough relationship that I feel like if Sideshow went to Hot Toys and said, "This is crap, you need to say something," they're not going to say no, but
they're going to say you write it.
Well, they'll probably you write it and we'll put our stamp on it and we'll put it out there for people, right? But then you got to think about creators out there like Justin's Collection, who has 500,000 subscribers who watch him, and for the longest time he's been not advertising for Toys Wonderland, but supports them in whatever way he supports them. I don't want to call it advertising because I don't know. Like, he just says where he buys it, right? So like whatever, but. At the same time, there's no way Hot Toys isn't happy about the fact that 500,000 people watch that guy's show all the time and buy Hot Toys almost directly as a result of it. So they, like John said, there's no way they don't realize that Toys Wonderland is doing this. It's just, like Zach said, a nothing burger and a way to stroke the ego of Sideshow and say, don't worry, we heard you.
I completely agree that this feels like they were pressured by Sideshow to do it, but I do want to say Hong Kong is an international city. They've got, English speakers on their staff, no doubt about it. Whether they communicate with us in English, that's another thing entirely, but I don't think that Sideshow
I wasn't
necessarily
trying to say that they
this.
can't speak English, by the way. Eddie in the chat, I see you, buddy. I see you in there.
I definitely, I know that's what you weren't trying to say, but I definitely was like, okay, that's not.
Thank you for
where
subtly
we're
correcting
from.
me. I appreciate it. A little slap on the wrist over here.
No, that's not what you were saying. So, but yeah, no, this, as Zach said, it's nothing basically, because they're not saying it's illegal. They're not saying they're going to stop. Well, I guess we'll get into the other memos. So let me pause right there.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's now
nothing.
Let me.
It's literally nothing.
Let me. I don't even know if we should mention that. I don't know. There were some retailers that also said that they were encouraged by Sideshow to share this statement.
Antsy Toys
leave it there.
Sentiment.
Leave it there. And so, a few did, which is, that's part of the business, I guess. Toys Wonderland did make a statement, and to me, it's just like, bro, you guys are fucking dumb. Like, Jesus Christ. This is from Toys Wonderland here on the same day. We've been made aware of a post Hot Toys made on their official Facebook page. We wanted to take a moment to thank Hot Toys for officially confirming that we are indeed a Hong Kong-based reseller. We have been accused in the past of being an official distributor operating outside our bounds and restrictions. Their post this morning confirms what we have been saying all along. We operate as resellers, giving our customers more options than a single site in America, which I thought was right across the bow. In this modern day and age, we hope to make Hot Toys more accessible to their customers directly. However, acting as resellers in Hong Kong has allowed us to break down those barriers and deliver collectibles faster and at market rates. We are not bound by restrictions in place for official distributors. Hot Toys make up a big part of our DNA, and we want to let you know we will always be reselling them, which I thought was fucking hilarious. We thank you for your support, and as always, watch this space for more exciting and less dramatic things that are coming from us here at Toys Wonderland. It just...
Like what? More tips?
Actually, apparently,
what more exciting shit could they be talking about?
They lowered their prices on some pieces. They're lower than Sideshow's.
Yeah, that's clearly got to be in response to this.
Of course.
Tremble does says Toys Wonderland never stated they were official distributors. And what about other resellers? Tim Cent, Pop Collectibles didn't say anything about them. Yeah, it's when you make a statement like that, I think you got to go for everyone. But yeah, it's a toughie. Oilers.
Sorry, go on.
No, sorry. Oilers had some issues. Great friend of the show, Jordan. He had some issues with getting some of his money back. He had ordered something. I believe it was a Book of Boba Fett Boba, or maybe it was the Mando Boba, and it hadn't shipped for a very long time. He had ordered the express shipping, and it wasn't until he called them out on his Instagram, which has a fairly large following, he got an almost immediate response and refund. And I mean, John, you've seen, not to interrupt your thought, you've seen also collectors, essentially say the same thing, right? Like, hey, I've been basically begging for a refund, something I full paid for years.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to my credit card company, but what are my options? So it's boy.
And they're giving them a hard time with the refunds. But like, did we really think, maybe there are some collectors out there, did we really think that Toys Wonderland was an official distributor? Like, I personally know that they're not.
I've never been under that assumption. Maybe there are people that have been, but I
have a tinfoil hat theory, but I don't know if I should say it on here.
I just want to ask Ben.
Use the word allegedly. What's that, John?
Go ahead.
Ben, if Sideshow wrote for Hot Toys, who wrote for Toys Wonderland?
Yeah.
Probably Sideshow too.
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine? That's Dean's tinfoil hat. They're all the same company.
This is just me watching all this shit.
Let them fight.
Whatever.
I feel like bad press is still good press, right? It gets people talking about both companies, and sometimes it means that they make more sales because more people are looking into it. So
unless you bought 100 comic covers this weekend at C2E2,
well,
you know.
Yeah. you know.
Jesus Christ! Now, Toys Wonderland then put a second statement. Fuck, dude, it's like, it's honestly, look, I know how a lot of y'all probably felt when we would shut up about Gandalf. And I admit, even I was getting worn out on that topic. The last time I felt this way was the Joker. It was just like an onslaught of photos, and it just dominated. Like,
at least we were looking at figures instead of memos.
Fuck, dude, I've seen.
One,
I know, begun the fucking memo wars have. I've seen so many people commenting about this, and it's almost like we have to, right? We're a weekly news show. This is the news of the week, right? But fuck, it's exhausting to do the show sometimes. Toys Wonderland put out a second announcement. We've received numerous messages from customers who are worried regarding their order status after Hot Toys posted an announcement on their story today. While we do not want to take up any more of your time, God forbid, we do feel it is necessary to answer some of your questions promptly. Is Hot Toys shutting down Toys Wonderland with lawsuits and legal action? Toys Wonderland operates as a reseller. We have never claimed to be an official distributor for Hot Toys. And I will say to that point, I think they've made very clear that point. We have a list of companies we supply products for we have a list of companies we supply products for officially, and Hot Toys is noticeably absent from this list. We are acting within our legal rights to resell Hot Toys figures that we ourselves own outright. Therefore, no, Toys Wonderland is not being shut down. 2, will Hot Toys stop you from getting stock to supply our orders? We shop for Hot Toys products in the same manner as any normal customer in Hong Kong would. We also procure them from the open market. Hot Toys has no jurisdiction to prevent us from purchasing products in the open market. We want to assure you that every single order and pre-order that you've made for Hot Toys products through Toys Wonderland is 100% secured. You will receive your order. We will continue to monitor collectors' questions, and if required, we'll make future posts to provide clarity, as we have done here. Apologize for adding fuel to the fire. However, we wanted to make sure you all know there is no need to be concerned. We will continue to ship your orders. Unless you're Jordan from Oilers, they might not ship your orders. Oilers also says, have you noticed their deleted Facebook page advertising to bring people in to be distribution partners for TW? Yeah, it's...
Why do people order from Toys Wonderland again, in all honesty?
So, obviously, first and foremost, if you have the money, right, and you don't want to wait 2, 3, 4 months for Sideshow to get the product.
Like that day one sort of thing?
Yeah, but also, John Booth, we don't do it on our channel too much, to be honest. We're not like really a review channel, but a lot of the people that I know, I'll say this, I know people that are not streamers or content creators that get it because, hey, I'd be willing to spend an extra $100 to get it today rather than wait 3-4 months.
Yeah, because the video is going to pay for itself.
Well, no, I'm talking about just normal collectors. But there is also, Dean, like you said, there is also a number of content creators that we know that take advantage of that early to be able to review them, kind of get the jump on some of the competition, right? If I had the money to do it, maybe. I don't think I would personally. I don't like making reviews.
Like
I don't make real content.
Exactly. I'm speaking to like the average. Well, let's say the everyday collector.
There you go.
Why would I, like, with all this drama and stuff? It just seems to be another headache, man. I'll wait to flip in 2 months to get the figure to not have to deal with this. There's been so much drama around this company. I don't even understand how they're still doing business outside of.
Yeah.
So for me, before I was, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ben. Sorry about that.
I'll make it quick. So before I just answer John's question, before I was streaming or part of the Facebook groups or anything like that, again, I was the only person I knew at all other than like Justin's collection that even collected Hot Toys. And so I was looking for a white Stormtrooper and I wanted the black Shadow Trooper, and they were sold out everywhere. I couldn't get them on Facebook Marketplace here in Canada. I couldn't get them on Sideshow, which was the only official distributor that I knew of. And then I came across this website called Toys Wonderland, and it was either that to get them from there, or it was just either not getting them or hoping for the best down the line on a Facebook Marketplace deal, right? So I found figures on Toys Wonderland that I couldn't find elsewhere, which is why I bought from them. And when I got my package from them, I honestly, at least from my own personal experience, this was a couple of years ago already. like they double boxed it. They wrapped the hell out of it. Like those shipper boxes came in like absolute pristine condition.
And how was the charge? Do you overpaid for them?
No, I paid in total with taxes and shipping $700 for both. So $350 per figure.
Okay.
And that was the Return of the Jedi, Stormtrooper, the white Stormtrooper, and the black Shadow Trooper. So
I was on their
at the time it was a good deal.
I saw one of the Predator figures that I was trying to let go. Yeah, the guy has like $500. I'm like, buddy, that's a little. Come on.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years ago, right? This stuff's been coming out lately.
Well, and it's for me, like that was at least 3 years ago. Was my first.
And that's
experience.
This is what Euler says. Also, he had 2 years of no problems getting his day one orders from Toys Wonderland. The last 9 months, he's had major issues.
They just grew way too quickly, right? Because I have the same experience as Ben. The first ever hot toy I got in hand was the Thanos, the Endgame Thanos, and it came like really fast. I overpaid on shipping, but it was actually cheaper than getting from Sideshow. So at the time, I was pretty amazed. But yeah, it just feels like they're just bitten off more than they can chew recently, and things are going south really quickly. But they keep having these sales that are drawing attention to them, and people are maybe just the uneducated collectors keep going there for their deals.
So you said that they grew too fast, right? There's too many people ordering from them, right? And they don't have the stock, which goes back to what Oilers said. They put up pre-orders on their website, and like they literally don't own them yet. Right? Like there's like, well, we got to get in line and buy 400.
Allegedly.
They may own the slips. So one thing to clarify, allegedly, when like owning the slip, like the pre-order slip, is like essentially the same.
Is that
as
a
owning
thing?
Because
I don't know what that is.
Over there, it's their thing.
Yeah, like you order, like
okay.
Here in America, we just go to Sideshow, order. In Hong Kong, they go to Secret Base, they put their deposit down, and they get like a slip. And essentially what I've been told, is the way that Toys Wonderland gets it is they'll pay people to stand in line to get those slips.
Okay.
And then I'll give you $100 or whatever. You get the slip, you give it straight to me. And then they'll come in at some point with any number of slips to redeem those slips. But yeah, I mean, essentially it's just like I'm sure we could probably ask Ryan. He lives over there, like exactly the process. But yeah, there's supposedly like some document that you get that's like, hey, I own this. I have a guaranteed figure coming for me. One or however many. But yeah, supposedly that's how it works.
But to Dean's point, though, I have seen a lot of posts recently. Well, a handful of posts where Toys Wonderland sent a collector email saying, "Hey, we don't have this stock. Actually,
I've seen
Toys
that. Yeah.
produced less.
They underproduced
kind of
it. It's like, don't blame Hot Toys.
I've never heard that being the case. To be honest.
Yeah, so that kind of feeds into the speculation you're saying, Dean, where maybe they don't even have the figure and they're going to just figure it out after they take your order and your money.
Do you want to share your theory, Dean? I mean, I don't know if it's too hot for the air. Theory? Yeah, let's all put on the tinfoil.
Yeah, so this again, it's just a theory. I'm basing this on nothing. It's just like a gut feeling.
I also want to say Dean Martin does not speak for Collecting Weekly, Collecting Weekly LLC, or just kidding.
All liability is his own.
Yeah, all liability inherent, something or other. GG, write us some stuff real quick. Ed and Eddie, $20 super chat. I love you all guys. Zach, Dean, John, Ian, Pete, Dylan, Seth, Sean, Rayner, Manny, Mark P, Danny, Ben, Marco, Mario, Useby, Brenton, Eric, and all the Patreonies. Congrats on 2K CW forever, my family.
Nice gesture, Eddie.
What a
nice gesture, brother.
Thanks, that's a left-hand jumbo for me, Eddie.
Yeah,
my God.
Sorry, Dean. Your theory.
No, yeah. This post from Hot Toys came out of literally nowhere. Like there was no drama, there was no news. Like it was just like, hey guys, Toys Wonderland? No, thank you, right? And like I'm kind of like wondering, like if maybe because Sideshow's over here, right? Hong Kong, that's a whole world away, bro. It's the Wild West over there.
It is the West. As
who's to say that Hot Toys isn't double dipping and actually supplying Toys Wonderland like behind the doors? And this is just a post like, hey guys, we don't like them. We really don't like Toys Wonderland, but really, again, this is just a theory. It's not. I'm not saying.
Dean, I saw Optical 20 kind of speculating the same thing.
Oh, did he really? Okay.
And his analogy was, he's like, you got caught with your side chick, and all of a sudden you've got to like make a public apology,
right, dude?
And that's kind of how it feels, yeah.
Because, dude, literally after that, that's when we started seeing emails from Toys Wonderland to people like, oh, we don't have that figure, bro. We Hot Toys didn't make it. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
did
a
it,
great
or
point.
did you guys
Yeah.
get caught? and Hot Toys, had to come, because honestly, like, it came out of nowhere. There was zero indication of like any drama, and then all of a sudden Hot Toys comes out with this. Like that, as we were talking about it, I was like, what's to stop them from double dipping? Like, Sideshow's over here, they don't have like fucking police over there. Like, what are you guys doing? Where are these figures going? Right? Because they have their own
But
market.
also, does Hot Toys give a fuck? It's like, bro,
No,
we're
they don't
selling
care.
we're
they already
selling
got
a
their money.
fuckload of these figures.
Man, Howard Chan
fuck-
doesn't give a rat's
yeah,
ass.
they don't
like-
give a
Right?
goddamn. They're like, bro, it's out of our hands already, bro. Fuck that.
Right? Like, what do I give a shit if Toys Wonderland comes in here and buys 300 of the?
Man, they're
fucking
selling
Storm-
Joker bodies to InArt for all we know.
It would be that, or they'd have to have like an army of runners too. When you think about it, like, or it's like, can you imagine like sending your grandma in and being like, yeah, like I want 93 of the new Iron Man.
To make a quick buck.
$100? That's a work day in some.
Yeah, but it would be, you'd have to have an army of folks working for you.
Listen to me. There's one way to end all this. One way, you just end it. You don't have to worry about it. You can sleep like a baby. Just stop buying Hot Toys. That's it.
There you go. John's hitting Nirvana. I mean,
And I
there's
will
got to
say-
be that. There's got to be
He's reached
that.
inner peace, bro. John's got it figured out.
There's got to be.
Stop buying Hot Toys. That's it.
There's got to be that one guy. I imagine he's like a greasy looking dude. Just comes in there. I'd like to take 400 of your finest Hot Toys, and just slaps down a stack of pre-order slips. Like, I'm here for my 400. They just load up one of those fucking little dollies.
I'm army building. Captain America's.
And I will say before we move on, because we obviously have talked
a lot
this
of
to death,
cousins.
but
It's your 20th order this week.
Dean was saying, this came out of nowhere, but not really though, because the Sideshow was a Sideshow Con where they had their 10% off sales and $5 shipping. Well, that was really kind of overshadowed by Toys Wonderland having like a $200 Boba
Jesus
2-pack
Christ.
or whatever the fuck.
Well,
right?
no, that's what I
like-
mean. Like, from Hot Toys, it seems odd. Like,
Yeah.
Sideshow's having a sale. Honestly, what does Hot Toys give a shit?
Well,
But
I see what you're
Sideshow
saying
cares
there,
when it's Toys Wonderland doing it. Yeah, so like you said, like, this is not a Hot Toys thing. This is a Sideshow thing. That's 100%.
Keep
No
this
doubt
up for a
about
bit. Star Wars Universe, Dean, what do you mean it came out of nowhere? Collectors have been complaining about Toys Wonderland for months. This didn't come out of nowhere.
No, I meant the Hot Toys. Just, I don't know.
He is a dingus.
I am a
let's talk-
dingus. That is
I
not
feel what you're
debated.
saying, Dean.
Let's talk customer service here for a bit. I the opposite, right? Because we've seen so many bad customer service. I don't want to have today's episode be like mostly negative. So I want to hear from you guys some great customer service experiences. And I'll start. I had picked up my Gandalf a few months ago from Stevens Collectibles, and one, they were so kind to hold it much longer than really they should have, to be honest. Real nice people. And the second I saw it, I was like, this is incredible. Put me down for a second one. Like, I will set up the paperwork right now for a second one. This was before InArt. From that time to right about when my final payment was due, InArt came out, and I don't want to say this, and like, if you deal with them and you don't get the same treatment, like, please don't. I spend a lot of money with Stevens. It may not be the
We
same.
eat together like we're homies.
Yeah, and I will say this: I also never have asked him for this, so just your mileage may vary. When InArt came out, I was like, "Fuck, dude! For $150 more, I think I'd much rather have that figure rather than a second one." But I'm a man of my word. I would have honored my purchase, right? If he said no problem. I'll sell it. I'll take a hit, whatever. I called him up. I was like, "Hey, bro, I got a big ask."
You had a big ass?
I do.
That too.
Tremendous.
That too.
Fucking
big ask.
bro.
My milkshake brings.
Dragging a wagon
for weeks, bro.
You know
Double
Kim
cheeked up on a
Kardashian, the way she
Tuesday
put
night.
that champagne
The
cup
wine
on her.
glass?
I
Bro.
put a shipping
He
box
puts,
back
he puts
there.
a whole keg. I'm telling you.
Dude, you
He's
fought
right.
with that ass, bro.
Eating
Sounds like
I
a
have
round
two
of
assholes.
applause, brother.
Don't give up on
Soup.
me now, Dean.
And I was like, look, this is the situation. Like, is there, like, I will buy other things at your shop. Like, I'm not going to leave you high and dry, but can I move my deposit to something else? No problem, bro. What do you want? And I was able to move that deposit, to this premium format figure, the Mando, which, at the end of the day is more money for him, for his shop, But man, what a guy. And just in dealings with them, man, like going in, like, hey, I have this thing, you have this thing, like, would you just do a straight up swap? Like, that's how I got the snow speeder. Just amazing customer service. Even Sideshow today, man. I had that Iron Studios Mando and Grogu on pre-order, and I pre-ordered that much before I knew I was going to be getting the premium format. And my final payment was coming out like in a few days, and I was like, man, like, I kind of have, like, in my opinion, like one of the better versions of this character. Like, I don't really need the 1/10. Called them up, and they're like, hey, you bought our premium format, like, we're just going to give you your NRD back as a courtesy, which is not the first time they've done that for me recently. And they gave me all my rewards back, and I basically went from like $12 in rewards to like $100, so I can basically get a Mafex figure that I really want. So amazing customer service by Sideshow, by Stevens Collectibles. I think, to me, for all the shit we give Sideshow, I think genuinely speaking, most of the time they got some of the best service in the biz. You can pick up the phone, you give them a call. I think they're willing to work with you if you're reasonable. Dean, do you have any experiences you wanted to shout out with any retailer?
The last one I've really needed was you're gonna remember this. With Sideshow, when Commander Cody was coming out. We were on stream and Zach accidentally bought something. And I was like, bro, you're a dingus, bro. How do you do that? And he's like,
No. I accidentally canceled the order because there was no confirmation. I just clicked it. It's like, okay, your order's canceled. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, bro, how do you do that? You're a dingus. What an idiot, right? I'm making fun of him live on air. And then, while we're talking, I'm like, oh, like, I have a pre-order. Let me check. And so I'm like clicking through the thing. And then again, no confirmation, just fucking charged me for the full amount of the figure. And I was like, bro, I don't have that money, just like that amount, like, to spare. Like, I got bills that I gotta pay. And I was like, fuck, like, what am I gonna do? So I called Sideshow the next day and I was like, look, like, I was thumbing through my Sideshow account and like I didn't get a confirmation to purchase this, and it went through. I was just trying to like go over like whatever it was I was trying to look at, and she's like, not a problem, we'll refund it to you, and you just reorder it. I was like, okay, perfect. So that's what I did, and it actually ended up working out because I had gotten rewards since then, so I put the new ones on top of it. So it worked out great, but I felt like such an idiot because I just got done making fun of Zach for this. Literally the same fucking thing. But yeah, dude, like when you call Sideshow on the phone, like as much shit as we give them, they're lickety split. They got really good customer service.
Am I next? Yeah, I'd go with Sideshow as well. There's been a few mishaps that they've really come to up to bat lately. There was one a couple months ago. I think I shared it on one of the shows before. But I opened up one of the busts I have, and there was some paint chipping on the shoulder. And this is a 10-year-old bust. Okay, what are they going to do? I called them. I said, let's see what they're going to do. And the guy's like, what are we going to do? We don't even know the paint that was used on that piece. It's so old. And I said, well, that's not my problem. That sounds like a you problem because I haven't even taken this thing out of the box. It's been in the box protected. Anyways, they ended up, not that they had to, but they ended up giving me free shipping on a product that I had on pre-order, which was nice of them. And then most recently, my points expired. I had like a one day and I couldn't
remember that.
Yeah, I couldn't make a decision, whatever. So I called the next day, and they applied my points. Lied to me, but they reapplied the points, so I won't be greedy. I still appreciate what they did. She told me it was going to expire in 24 hours. I still have the points there. It's been like 3 months.
Oh, that's a good lie.
I know.
That's a great lie. Why are you calling them out for that?
She was like, why? Because she was doing exactly what they did with the Hot Toys Trooper, flipping, getting me to spend the money that day. No.
There you go.
I waited and no, but that was good on them. I still say to this day, Sideshow's customer service is, if you have a problem, they'll take care of you.
100%. Marco, Ben?
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
No, you go ahead. No, you let me go last time.
No,
You
go for it. Go for it.
Okay, I'll make it quick. So, keeping the jive going. So I had a really good experience recently. I've been doing a lot of toy tours on my channel, toy store tours and comic book stores, and because I've been trying to support the local guys, the brick and mortar stores, a little bit more than like the Toys R Us's and the Walmarts and stuff, right? It's cool to go into some of these local shops. And last week I did my 12th tour at a place called Snap Collectibles here in Airdrie, Alberta, and I had a really good experience there for a couple different reasons. So I would say the first part that was a great experience was, some of these other toy stores that I've gone to, or some of these other collectible stores, I go in as a YouTuber, I want to take some video, I want to show the community kind of what you guys have, I want to support the local stores, and they look at you like you may be trying to case the place out, and you can tell that they're really nervous about you being there and all of that. This particular location was like, no, that's amazing. Like, thank you for supporting the store. Like, that's awesome. Like, feel free to like basically walk anywhere in the store and take as much video footage as you want. He went around and cleared some of his like shipper boxes out and stuff like that. He told me a little bit about how they do online ordering system and they can bring things in from Sideshow for people here in Canada, which for me was huge to hear, because that would save me a lot on like a lot of the shipping costs and stuff, which was cool. And then I finished the video. I posted it last week. So again, Snap Collectibles, cool store to check out, but posted it, and I hear from the store owner in my Instagram the next day, and he was like, dude, like, I just wanted to say, like, thank you so much for posting that video. Like, I really appreciate it. We'd love to have you back in the store at some point. Like, come back anytime. And when I was there, I was telling him that I was kind of looking for these Batman, the animated series, 6-inch figures, right? And so for the last couple days, he's messaged me a couple times to be like, hey, like, just so you know, I got a lead on one. I might be able to bring one into the warehouse. It's the Ra's al Ghul. He's like, we might be able to bring it in. Is it something that you're wanting? And I like wavered. I was like, I don't know, like, right now we just got a kitten in the house. Like, bills are a little bit tight. Things are a little tight. Like, I would love that, but I can't commit to it. So, like, don't bring anything in specially, for me. And I get a message from the guy today, and he's like, Ra's al Ghul just landed in the warehouse. Do you want it? And I was like, oh, again, like, sorry, man, like, I can't afford to get it. And he's like, nope. He's like, you advertised for my store. I definitely appreciate it. So for this one, I'm just gonna give it to you, no cost. You can just come by and pick it up. Which was cool. And so he drove
Amazing.
25 minutes to bring the toy to his store location so that I could pick it up. But I missed it because I was trying to get home to get on the show tonight for like the live show tonight.
God damn it,
so
man.
it'll be my new this week, next week.
I
thought that was a
what's that store one more time?
So it's called Snap Collectibles, and it's on my YouTube channel there. But
here,
they've got a website, www.snapcollectibles.com, and they spell collectibles differently. It's collectibles with an A, like collect tables almost, like collectibles.
Put it in private chat for me, please.
It's the Canadian way.
Put their details for me in private chat so we can run a banner. Well, so we can run a banner. Quickly, Pablo Meza, off the racks, paid off my Gideon. It hadn't shipped for a week. I messaged John. He apologized, sent it out immediately, and gave me $25 off my my next purchase. What a guy. Yeah, Ben, write me a little script down there. We'll run a banner for them.
I will, for sure.
Yeah, that's incredible stories there, and I just really wanted to not have this be like overly negative. Marco, what's your story for us?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of Sideshow stories. Honestly, they've made it right for me a lot of times in the past. So I'm pretty hard on them, but they need to do better as of late. But they've been really great in the past. I will say, tearing off of what Pablo Meza is saying here, off the racks, John has great customer service. He will, communicate with you on Facebook. He'll let you know when a figure is upcoming, so you can kind of make arrangements, unlike how Sideshow did not this last time, and you can kind of pay it off in advance or make sure you've got the money there. A really accessible guy. Sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, you got a figure coming up," and then we'll just talk about what he's picking up, and I will just plug them and just say that I've had really good customer service experiences. He'll ship the figure out right away. I haven't had any problems as of yet, but I'm confident that if I do, he will go the extra mile to make it right.
So let's do this for a second. There we go. Scroll that banner across.
And I gotta say, I said to him, I was like, that is incredibly generous, by the way. I was like, I'm not a monetized channel yet. I think the video only got about 500 views. You don't have to do that. I didn't do it for any gain other than to, give some content to people that I love, to talk to, some stuff to watch, and to support you a little bit. And he was like, no, he's like, that's appreciated. But he just created a customer for life. Anytime I want a comic book now or a collectible, I'm going to go to him first. Such a smart business move. But again, just a standout guy, standout business owner. I definitely recommend his store. It was a really good experience.
Messed that up. Oh, I cannot spell. Let's go. Jesus Christ, their website. So Snap Collectibles 587-254-0491 in, how do you say this city?
Airdrie,
Alberta. Yeah, be sure to check them out. So what do they sell, Ben?
Everything. So they had a huge Kenner Star Wars selection. They had almost every Black Series that I could think of to find. They also bring in, so they have a whole warehouse dedicated to their store that I'm hoping he gives me an invitation to at some point so I can show you guys what that looks like. Because apparently there's you remember those old librarian style book racks where you can slide a whole shelf?
A wheel.
He's got a warehouse filled, I guess, with toys and boxes and stuff that they just keep bringing things in. But vintage collection, as you guys can see here, Black Series. They had a HasLab Razor Crest in there today. They got slab comics, graded comics, pretty much whatever you're looking for. You're gonna have a good chance of finding a huge Ninja Turtle selection, DC Select, McFarlane, basically everything that I want to look for. And they can bring in Hot Toys. They don't usually stock them in the store, but they will do orders. And he was saying the goal is to try and save you on some shipping. So if you buy it from us, we absorb some of the shipping. We mark it down so that he's we make a couple bucks, but not nothing that you're going to necessarily have an issue with, sort of thing, if that's a better service level. And you can do payment installments through his store as well, so you don't have to, if you're a Canadian here, you don't have to lock your money into Sideshow if you don't want to. You can do it in the store there locally. So that was really cool. Yeah, really, really cool.
Tell him that we are a monetized channel and we plugged him. So
I did. Well, he subbed
me
to
a
you
box
guys.
of. Oh, really?
He subbed to you guys. Yeah, well, because I said to him, I was like, I'm on every Tuesday night, and I sent him the link tonight as well. I don't know if he made it in the chat. I didn't see him yet, but I'm sure he'll watch it on replay because he's like, yeah, he and his I don't know if it's his wife or just somebody who works with him, but she also subbed to me and to you guys as well last week while I was there. So.
Do you know if they do consignments? Because it looks on their website they have older Predator Hot Toys on there. They're sold out, but
I'm not too sure. But the guy again was pretty easy to deal with, and I think they're through their email he's pretty communicative. So
cool.
Yeah.
Let's I just want to mention this real quick. Someone mentioned it earlier and I didn't get a chance to pull it up, but Magic the Gathering 2023 is doing a Lord of the Rings set with they're not going to be standard legal cards, but they're going to be a special print with artwork, and I imagine Gandalf will have his own card. Bro, if you have a Gandalf card in 2023 and you pull one, if it's hard to get, holla at your boy. I'm putting it out now. I'm calling dibs on that Gandalf. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I love that. Let's tell you what. We did have a plan for a discussion. This actually ran a little bit longer than I thought. Let's bump what do you expect from a live stream to next week, and we'll be sure to get the community's feedback. Maybe we'll put up a post on
that's a good idea. Actually, we can put up
CW
a post
and get some feedback, and then also take some live. Just because I don't want to keep everyone here too long, because we got to watch Prey tonight after the show. Our movie of the week was Blade Runner. I specified the final cut, but whatever cut you watched is good enough for me. The film is set in a dystopian future, Los Angeles of 2019, in which synthetic humans known as replicants are bioengineered by the powerful Tyrell Corporation to work on space colonies. When a fugitive group of advanced replicants led by Roy Batty escapes back to Earth, a burnt-out cop, Rick Deckard, reluctantly agrees to hunt them down. This movie is fucking incredible.
Bro.
The world building, the music, the scenery. I love Han Solo, but this actually may be my favorite Harrison Ford movie. It is a slow burn. It's a noir. It's a detective movie. You get some neat little future tech. That 4D image scanning technology I thought was really fun. I didn't get that when I was younger, but watching it now, it made a lot of sense. I know there will be some complaints from some people, modern film watchers are going to say, man, this movie's slow. It takes forever to get going. I can 100% see those criticisms. This is a movie you watch it on a rainy day. You devote full attention to it, and you just let the story take you, because it's such an incredible film, based off the book Robot's Dream of Electric Sheep, and a movie that's had a lot of changes. It almost reminds me of Star Wars in that, there's many cuts of the film, all very, very different cuts, very ambiguous stuff. To this day, Harrison Ford believes his character, I don't want to misquote this, but I believe he believes Deckard is a replicant. The director believes he is not. And the fact that the movie could be so ambiguous that the lead actor and the director have differing views about the character, and the fans split as well. Such an incredible film. I
was going to say, I feel like now that there's a sequel, kind of definitively proves that he's not a replicant. But
well, no, they left it open in the sequel too. They never confirmed he is or isn't.
Well, the replicants have a shorter lifespan. He's like fucking like 80 years old.
I mean, he could be a fucking special replicant, Dean. Jesus Christ.
I've got this laptop from 2009.
But also,
this
he
thing
has
is still
like
going.
He also has like cop friends that know who he is and where he's been and how long he's worked there. So
yeah, but it's also the whole point is more real than real, right? Like,
right.
I mean, Dean could be a replicant for all I know, right?
It's true. I was talking to my sister about that today. I was like, you remember being 10, right? I was like, but so do they. Like, how do you know that you've lived this long? Like, that those memories aren't just planted in your head.
There you go. So Dean, obviously you're a big fan of this film as well. I think
big
some
fan.
of our friendship has been made from this movie.
Bro, this movie, not including Star Wars, is my number one favorite movie of all time. This movie is so fucking incredible. And like it lays the seeds as early as like 15 minutes into this film for the sequel, which, you could say they just like really wrote the sequel well, but like it makes everything so much better. It's been a while since I've watched the movie. So rewatching it, I was just like, fuck, this movie is like so fantastic. I really prefer the theatrical cut of the movie, which is where Harrison Ford narrates it, which a lot of people don't like
that at all.
The ending is terrible. It's so bad. But I like, you could tell Harrison Ford like did not want to do a voiceover.
Bro, he's like, I'm sorry. You call me
so
2
bored.
months after rap? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No.
You could tell he's just like over it, but like it fills a lot of gaps because there's a lot of real quiet, kind of nothing's happening in the scene. Like it's very, there's just music playing, rain falling. It's very quiet. So like to me, I like that. I don't prefer it, but I do like to watch that version from time to time. But yeah, any way you watch this movie, it's so fucking brilliantly done. Like every frame of this movie is like so intense in terms of like the detail, the design, like the cinematography, the set locations, the Bradbury building, like so incredible, right? And the story is just again, incredible. The only real thing I have a problem with is Rachel and Deckard seem to like fall in love like that. Like,
it's a weird relationship.
it's very weird. In fact, the scene where they finally like get together is like almost like really awkward and kind of like, is this consensual? Like, it's very strange, but
not in 2020, not in 2019 standards.
Yeah. But oh my God, like my sister watched it with me today and she's like, I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid. I was like, well, fucking, you're in for a treat. And sure enough, by the end of it, she's like, that was so fucking good. Like, that movie was incredible. It's like, no, it's amazing. Yeah, everything about this movie is fucking perfect. I love it.
I think it's crazy to me that if this is on the same level with you as like Star Wars, that you weren't like immediately like $1,300 for that gun is worth it. Because, dude, I feel like you almost need this in your collection if it's that high on your list for you, buddy. Like, 100%.
But that's the thing. Like, there's not a lot of Blade Runner collectibles. Like,
it's a hard license.
It's a hard license, yeah. So like, there's just not a lot of collectibles out there to even own. Right. And the ones that are very fucking expensive. So yeah, it's very sad to me.
So for me, I've seen multiple different versions of this film, kind of like you guys were already saying. Like, the final cut I didn't watch until a few years ago. I watched, I think, primarily the version that had the voiceover, like the narration. And like you guys said, like the narration in that particular cut, he clearly didn't want to be there, and so you can really hear it, and it adds some element to it. But I do like kind of the quiet nature of the film, like Dean was saying, in the sense of like without that narration, you get to kind of piece it together yourself a little bit. I like movies that make you piece it together and think about it a little heavier than just being kind of told what to think or kind of what's happening in the moment. But what I didn't realize when I was a kid, because the first time I watched this movie when I was young, I didn't like it. And I was a Harrison Ford fan back then. I obviously loved him in Star Wars. I loved him as Indiana Jones. And then I watched Blade Runner expecting to be blown away, especially because I liked Star Trek and Star Wars and sci-fi-esque shows, right? And I didn't love it. And I think at the time I was just too young. It was not that it was slow paced, but that like a lot of like intellectual language, like a lot of speaking parts and a lot of like, if you're not listening, you will definitely miss parts of what's going on or some of the subtleties of what you're supposed to catch. It probably took me, I want to say, 3 watches before I started to really truly see the gem that was kind of in this film, at least for me. And again, that was through multiple cuts, and then finally the final cut, which was my 3rd or 4th time viewing. Which is the cut that I would ultimately recommend to people. So good call on that one, Zach. That is definitely the most well put together of the films, I would say. And it just goes to show you how many movies this film has inspired over time, right? Some of my favorites out there, even like I watched the movie Ex Machina not too long ago. When they're
such a good movie,
wonderful film, right? And I think it's called the Turing test. When you're trying to determine whether an artificial intelligence knows that it's an artificial intelligence, right? And like even just that alone clearly has some inspiration from this. Gattaca has got some inspiration from this, and like just so many other cool films. So
Ghost in the Shell,
yeah, like so many cool ones, and just like the noir feel to it. It's got also one of the, I think you said it, Zach, one of the best world builds like ever. You feel like you could literally reach through the screen into like a developed, gritty world. I think it's funny that I think it's 2019 that it's supposed to be, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking like we're already in 2022. I think back to 2019, right? And like it's just not like the world, but like it's a cool. I like going back, 30 years and thinking about what the future could be. Even like that 2015 Marty McFly seeing Jaws and all. Like I just like perspectives of the future and alternate futures that could be a thing. And I always loved the idea of artificial intelligence blending in with our community, and getting to see in this film that the artificial intelligence almost has more humanity than Deckard himself, who, like, whether or not you think he's a replicant or not, I mean, I would say that he is very robotic in the role. he makes it seem as though he could be almost an artificial intelligence, even though he's clearly developed and he's got some emotions and he's more expressive than some of the characters. I can't remember the girl. What's her name?
Rachel.
Yeah, she's definitely a little bit robotic in her delivery, but again, I think some of the humanity that comes out of the other characters who actually are replicants,
Pris and
is
Roy
more,
and
it's more present than in Deckard himself.
What a good fucking bad guy, bro.
Crazy good movie. So yeah, again, if you watch this film and it's your first time watching it, I would almost say watch it through, get a feel for it, and then give it another chance and watch it through a second time, because I think you may pick up just that little extra bit.
Alrighty, IMDb 8.1 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 89%. When did this come out? 1982. There's nothing left to say. Ben just absolutely said everything I need that was on my mind. No, I'm kidding, guys. I didn't actually get to watch the film again this week, unfortunately.
He's getting back to work, getting back into the
Zach already told me I'm gonna get 10 patty whacks after the show.
I didn't even.
No, I know.
Didn't even get on your case about it. I understand. You're dealing with.
It's been crazy, yeah. So I'm gonna get back on track.
I didn't say anything. How dare you?
He didn't.
It's funny that Zach really likes Deckard because he's kind of a dick. I'm like, this guy definitely doesn't have any friends. Like,
I'm a
kind
dick, or
of
Deckard's a dick?
No, Deckard.
I am a dick.
He's like rude to everybody he talks to.
He lives in like a shitty little apartment.
Yeah, which is I fucking love his apartment so much. It's so cool. But yeah, it's funny because you talk about like this movie takes place in 2019 and here we are in 2022, and it's me and my sister were talking about the scene where he like zooms in on that graph, and I was like, it's crazy to think about back then. But like even today, we have I think they're called like terapixels or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like they take a picture of like a parade like up in a skyscraper, and you could like zoom in and see people's like eyelashes and shit, or like they take a picture of on a mountain, and you could like zoom into like the city and like see people like walking on a bridge and shit. And so it's like it's funny that they imagine this crazy technology and like here we are, but like we kind of have it. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I love it. But.
Well, and that's why I didn't love just the humanity and kind of how Deckard is. It's the reason I didn't love the director's take, Ridley Scott's take on like him, maybe because it was Ridley Scott that kind of came out after the fact and said, yeah, Deckard is a replicant, right after this film was released, or like after it had been tweaked a bunch of times. But I never liked that perspective because to me that actually took away from the film a little bit, because I thought for me, like my takeaway from it was that the humanity in the AI, like they had more of, actually Mark Pearson literally just wrote it, like they had more of a will to live than the humans themselves. So to then make Deckard a replicant, actually I feel like almost detracts from how good that aspect of the film is.
Yeah. Yeah, I just never. Yeah, my sister made a similar point when we got done watching it. She's like, the movie is like not even really about Deckard. He's just kind of a cog in the machine, like experiencing all this shit that's going on around him. But really, the story is the replicants, right? And that's why I think Roy is such a good fucking bad guy. Not only his presence, but like his drive, what keeps him moving forward in the story. I mean, he's a fucking psychotic bastard, and you know he says this line where he's like, you know, all my experiences and my memories will be gone when I die. Like bro, that happens to us all. Like whether you live 50 years or 4, you know, like when we're dead, we're gone, bro. Like you didn't have to kill all these people to reach this conclusion. And, you know, yeah, my sister was like, bro, like there's kids who fucking die of cancer before they even get a chance to live. And here's Roy killing a bunch of people because he only gets to live 4 years. It's like, Tyrell was right. He's like, dude, like revel in your glory that you had 4 years. Like, and you know, it's also unfair, right, to create these things for basically slave labor and then toss them in the garbage, right? Like that's a shitty thing to do. There's no question about it, but also like it's like, bro, you got to live, you know, an amazing 4 year. Well, probably not amazing 4 years, but it's like, bro, you were superhuman for 4 years. Like, you could have done anything, and you chose to be a fucking psychotic murderer. Like, you know, it opens a lot of conversations, and it makes you think about a lot of different things. And like, this movie's just so fucking brilliant and beautiful. I love it. I love it so much.
John, what is your pick for movie of the week this week?
I'm choosing because my time is tough, and I want to get this watched, so I might as well kill two birds with one stone. I'm choosing Prey.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
The new one. Yeah.
I'm here for it. Let's move on. Can we thank these amazing Patreonies of ours?
The three pillars that keep the channel going. But so do you guys watching and listening at home. We love you too. Thank you for the 2,000 subscribers. Give a quick shout out to Sean Fear, Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giss, Staminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krett, Big Ol' Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomoski, Rick DeGregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tukathri Wa, Derek B, Pablo Meza, Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Dalmaton, Jimmy James, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Nice.
Yeah, love to see it. Our August Patreon benefits, we have the Prince Zorbo magnet and a Shrink Ray sticker that will be shipping out end of August. Be sure to tune in for that. For Patreon, we have 3 tiers: the $5 Sweet Angel tier, sticker sent straight to your door, and access to Ox After Dark, the $15 Certified Crispy tier, figure fix assistance, and all the benefits of the previous tier. The $25 tier is the Pog Deluxe, and it doubles all the stickers we send and all the benefits of the previous tiers. Our YouTube channel members, big shout out to all you guys also for the support. Definitely helps out quite a bit. Let's drop that there. Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Jess 1, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator, Sam Giss, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V, Big Ol' Fern, OG Fan, Bama, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Lemur Hernandez, Carlitos, CT603, Eddie Money Mendez, Luke Fredericks, and Sia Dreams. Bunch of angels there. We have the membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member, or $2.99 if you are not. You get loyalty badges, emojis, and member shout outs. Taking a look at the network, we have OFAC Thursday. Excited for that. We have After Dark tomorrow at 10:30. Collectors Club Friday. Live and Let Dice. We may be going live Thursday night for a little bit of a team meeting. When you do a live impromptu roleplay show, sometimes things get a little bit crazy. Last session, we kind of got a little off the rails. I think we're having a little bit too much fun, so we got to have a chat about it. And Cody thought it would be a good job to do it live. We can kind of peel back the curtain a bit, explain some of the actions of the NPCs, the player characters, some of the repercussions of what happened, and kind of get everything back on track for the next episode. With D&D specifically, we'll be taking off September 3rd for PAX, and so we'll be doing some back-to-back weekends here pretty soon to get you guys some backlog content for that weekend off. TeePublic's where you can buy our merch. Dean's working on a really cool shirt for D&D. Very excited to see how that turns out. It's another homage type shirt, so really excited for that. And I think John's working on a club shirt as well, so
yeah,
really excited to see what he comes up with. And then, John, do you mind reading these socials
yeah,
for
of
me,
course.
please?
On Facebook, we've got Collecting Weekly. We have our main group as well for the community, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. On Instagram, we have @Collecting Weekly, @CollectingWeekly_clips, and @The Everyday Collector as well. Guys, be sure to to be following these pages. I know we're at 2,000. Huge congrats. But yeah, get these pages onto your social media, phones, computers, whatever, because there's some good content on it.
Definitely. Erwin says, congrats again on the 2K every episode. We get thanked by you guys, but man, thanks for the good content from everyone in the network. Holy shit, that's an
Appreciate
amazing
it.
comment.
Thank
Eddie
you.
Aero Maestro, congrats on 2K. Again, into our 2,000 subscriber celebration, sponsored by Off the Rack Collectibles. Sub to Collecting Weekly and Collectors Enabled. Join Collecting Weekly Auxiliary Facebook group. Comment hashtag CW2K on the giveaway post. Let's do this. We did drop quite a bit of viewership, but let's reward the people that are still here. John, give me a hashtag for some bonus entries.
Hashtag
the big night.
Collecting Weekly for life.
Yeah. Okay, let's do
life.
Yeah, let's do hashtag CW for life.
CW for life. Yeah.
I'll put it in the comments. Go and comment that on the giveaway post. You'll get a bonus entry if you're watching live now. So there's 60 of us here. We'll put the timer for... We won't be here for 15 minutes, but we'll put the timer for... Let's do 20 minutes. Sure. And if you comment, you'll get a bonus entry. Don't mention for the bonus entry. And also, Fern, I meant comment on the giveaway post.
And Fern's like a bee on honey.
Look,
or a
now
bear
you
on
started...
honey.
Now Eddie's...
God damn it, Fern. Okay, let's clarify here. Comment hashtag
Danny.
CW4... Oh, my God. Comment hashtag CW4Life on the giveaway post on Facebook. Jesus, Fern.
Speaking English.
All right. Well, we'll try to get you guys over to the Facebook page. Let's.
Danny's like, you dinguses, but he commented it. Also, Danny, you can't answer. Neither can Fern.
Oh my God. Okay, there we go. Fern got the memo. Yeah. Do it on
Facebook.
Ox, please. Yeah, Facebook. Look at that. We got the people commenting already. Thank you guys. And let's do some shout outs. So I want to bring this comment up because I think this is a really great one by Eddie earlier. There's a lot of people that do a lot of things for the channel. Obviously the guys we have here, Dean, my right-hand man, John, my right-hand man, fucking the generals of the empire. We got Marco and Ben. They come on here after dark, C-dubs every week. You know, we kind of have been, leaning on you guys a lot for topics and, a lot of prep stuff. You guys help out a ton. Ian and Pete are, honestly, like some of our first listeners, coming up on 75 episodes of their show. Ian's such a great guy. Really been doing some really neat stuff with 3D printing for us, printing out one of our Patreonies, a dinosaur feet that I have to paint, printing out, some other things for some of my figures. Dylan, again, one of our early listeners, took the helm on Small Talk when we lost Damien. Really appreciate that. Sean too stepped up big time with Small Talk. Seth, one of the biggest investors in the show in the early years, really got us to the level that we are at now. One of my best friends also. Rainer, Manny, we're talking CW royalty there. Some of the first hosts that we ever had. You may not see them often, but they really got us to where we are as well. Mark Pearson, Ringcast, Dungeons and Dragons, Small Talk. Danny with Club and Unboxing, always dynamite on the mic. Some past hosts, Eddie, Mario, real great guys. We have a lot of love for them. They helped us get to 1,000, obviously. They've been a big part of the channel. USB with Club and Unboxing and the Bricks and Brews show. Brenton with Question of the Week. Eric, sweet guy. Fern also. You guys have really all been a tremendous part of this. And, it's a journey. 2K took a long time, a lot of work, so we're happy. We're celebrating today. It's a big deal. So we'll celebrate again tomorrow. Lane says, don't forget, we got the 3-0 Optimus on Monday. That's going to be a great drawing. And look at that. We got Deanie in the chat. You'll love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. So yeah, this is our accomplishment as much as it is yours. So we really appreciate it. And I'm opening the floor if you guys have any shout outs. Let's go ahead and get those going.
I'll go with a quick or Dean, if you want to go ahead first.
Dean's freezing a little
bit.
I'm lagging. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say, huge shout out to everyone that Zach mentioned on the 2K. Couldn't have done it without you guys, especially the Patreonies, everyone who tunes into the show afterwards, on the podcast, anywhere. If you're listening to the show, you're supporting us big time. Even if you support reissues, that's fine. I'm still thank you. Huge shout out to Lane. Okay, I want to give my shout out to Lane tonight. Lane handled his unboxing yesterday like a champ. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Opened up Grievous, and unfortunately there was a crack, but he remained calm, very professional, handled it like a champ. Thanks, brother.
He cried for like 11 minutes, but that's okay.
Hopefully you get it rectified, Lane. But again, I appreciate you coming on, and thanks for everything you do.
Yeah. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the people who listen that we don't get to interact with on a daily basis. You know, we have a lot of people in our Facebook group, on our Facebook chats, the Patreonies, all the people on the YouTube that we talk to, you know, that we feature comments, and they're here every week. But there's way more people that listen that aren't necessarily in the chats. So I just want to give a huge shout out.
Damn, took him down. Huh?
Huge shout out to them. He's right. And
okay, sorry. I
there you
lagged
go.
out for a second. What was the last thing I said?
Huge shout out to the people that you can't.
That was
no. Huge shout out to the people who aren't necessarily vocal watching the show.
Who we don't get to see, but you're out there, and we do really appreciate y'all. I mean, I think Zach, we're like somewhere around like 10 or 14,000 downloads a week or something, or a month, or whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of people out there that we don't get to interact with. So huge shout out to you guys.
I'll do a quick one as well, because I was thinking about this tonight after I was racing home from work, and Shauna purposely raced home to quickly make me dinner so that I'd be downstairs and ready to get on the show in time for everybody. I think it's amazing that our families, our wives, our girlfriends, our friends support us as much as they do. I do one show a week with you guys, and sometimes Shauna feels, like left out, right? Like she's like, oh, like, is it Tuesday already? Like, I wish we could hang out tonight. But, some of you guys do multiple shows a week, and clearly your wives and partners are, and family are just supportive of that. And, if we had families that didn't support us from behind and make sure that we had the opportunity to be in front of everybody every week, the show wouldn't be what it is. So shout out to our lovely family members and wives and loved ones for giving us that time.
So.
Damn.
Hey now. Kevin is a very supportive puppy dog, okay? Love that little guy. And if it wasn't for CW, I would die in Elden Ring every week. So what is it?
That's right.
I need you, Dean. Okay.
Yeah, really well said, Ben. Yeah, shout out to all the significant others that hold it down. Shout out to the chat and to everyone in the community. This really is the best community. Shout out to you guys, Zach, Dean, and John. You guys work harder than, Zach and John work harder than anyone. Dean, he just shows up. But, as someone who has their own small channel, I know how hard it is to make content, and you guys do so much of it that this is an incredible feat to hit 2,000. So yeah, shout out to you guys. And we'll just say one more shout out to Danny Lee. As I mentioned earlier, that guy drove a few hours to hang out with me, go comic book shopping, have lunch, make a Hot Toys transaction. So another testament to how great this community is. That got a buddy for.
So.
There you go. But no, it was a good time. So it's awesome to meet friends in the community, and it's a special place here.
Yeah.
Are we
very well spoken, everybody?
Can we sing Kumbaya?
That's the plan right now. I haven't bought a flight, but I'm planning to.
Here, Ben, give me your hand.
Bro, buy that fucking.
Ben, give me your hand. Dean.
Let's lock hands.
Why am I so fucking stupid right now? What?
I can never get my directions
to
right.
the left.
There we go. Wait, Dean, high five me. Jesus. Wait, Dean, let's do the God thing.
Cute.
Yeah, there we go.
I thought I smelled
Clip
cabbage.
that.
Whoa!
Don't have any corn. Anyways, you guys have 11 minutes and 30 seconds to enter into that bonus that we're doing there on auxiliary. It's hashtag CW4Life. So be sure to do that. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys. You know, we'll probably celebrate it a bit more tomorrow. It kind of caught me off guard today. But we appreciate it. Be sure to enter into our giveaway. It's going to be a great bit of giveaway. And then John's still figuring out how he's going to do unboxing giveaway. But Monday there will be a giveaway. So anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm John.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.